Hey, everybody! Welcome back to Slices and Dices, and it is time for us to say hello once again to our friends in the Alien RPG world. This is actually. I messed up already, guys. I messed up already. This is not session 2. This is session 3
Oh,
of
Lord.
of
boy.
of our Lost Worlds campaign. There we go.
Well, now you've
Fixed.
ruined the whole night.
I know. I started off with a real bug
Come on
squasher.
now.
There we go. Session 3. Session 3 of our Lost Worlds campaign here in the beautiful and terrifying universe of Alien RPG. We've got our people back. We're ready to go. Sarah is fanning herself because she's so excited.
I am. I mean, I am excited. It's also just very hot.
Yes, I think summer has come early in New York for some reason or another. It's just like it's hot.
It's so sauna-like in the city right now.
Yeah, but as as Hudson says, it's a dry heat. Or is it?
Hot.
No, it's not a dry heat. Yeah,
Hot.
shit. It's warm, but that's okay because you know what's going to cool us down? The absolute chilling terror that will come as part of this wonderful game and what will occur tonight. I guarantee it.
Stranded in the middle of a space feud. What
Yes.
could possibly go wrong?
I think that one of you mentioned this is like Hatfields and McCoys in space. Was that you, Sarah? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And Patrick.
And Patrick?
I think Patrick and I hated it at the same time.
One of us typed it, one of us said it out loud.
It's about right.
Yeah.
You guys share a brain anyway. I totally get
We
it.
kind of do. It's a little creepy.
It's
One brain cell.
a little bit more than
Exactly. It's not a brain. It's just a cell.
more
But we share it.
than that. But yes, thank you for rejoining us here in our wonderful Lost Worlds campaign, brought to you by some really important and awesome sponsors. I'm going to just name them in order. Into the AM, their amazing garments, soft, plush, velvety. I love describing garments like they are delicious food items that I wanted to eat. But yeah, no, the shirts that they started with and now have branched out into other pieces of clothing are so supple and so stretchy and breathable and supple. I want to say it like supple.
It's an apt description, though. They
It
are
is.
supple.
They are super worth it, and I don't know why their t-shirts are so much better than other t-shirts that I've gotten from other companies, but
They're
are
so good.
They are great, and the iconography that they have on them, the graphic part of the graphic tee that they have, they're just really cool. Like their art is unique, and it's very, very different from a lot of other shirts that I have, like in all my
I get
possessions.
compliments whenever I wear one of their shirts out.
Yeah. So Into the AM, if you check them out now using the links that you see here in the chat or the links that you see in the doobly-doo if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll get some discounted cool stuff from Into the AM folks. Second sponsor tonight is Monument Studios. Monument Studios has been with us since, well, for a very long time, and their amazing music and amazing sound effects have aided our games immensely. If you are a role-playing game enthusiast or a game master or even just as someone who loves sound effects, check them out. They have such amazing breadth and depth of their catalog of music and sound effects for a variety of different types of games, whether it be fantasy or suspense or horror or anything like that. You will find it in their catalog, and they're really good people. Like I deal with them all the time, and they're really, really nice to deal with. And they sort of let me know about some really cool stuff that they have coming out. And so they send me some advanced copies, and then I throw it into the games, and everyone's like, "Where'd you get this sound, Matt? This music is so cool." And I'm like, let me tell you, it's Monument Studios. They're really, really great. So check them out, and hey, aid your own games. You don't have to just like try to find random YouTube shit all over the internet. Just grab some crap from Monument Sound or Monument Studios, I should say, and put them into your games. And if you subscribe to them using our awesome discount, you'll get a really, really good deal. The third sponsor, Integral, I say, to this particular game as well as others, is our friend Jasper Nilsson Siren's a great Patreon, Siren's Maps. Jasper is a absolute joy to work with. I mean, he is a map maker unlike any that I've ever had to deal with, either personally or professionally, and he's just so giving And he's so good at what he does. You throw him like some bare bones sort of skeletal map, as they have, oftentimes in an Alien RPG, and he just fills it out. He fleshes it out. He makes it look really, really good. And he like takes all the descriptions of all the things in the different rooms, and he's like, oh, well, this room has this in it. And then he'll drop it in. You're like, oh shit, look at the attention to detail. So Jesper Nelson Siren's Maps, check him out. Go onto Patreon, look up Siren's Maps. I think it's just patreon.com/Siren's Maps. And you will find that his work is far and away some of the best that you'll ever see or hope to see. And so we thank you for supplying this wonderful campaign with all of your amazing maps. Thank you very much, Jester. Mwah, love you. That's it. That's all I've got for sponsors.
No.
Oh. Who did I forget?
You forgot our merch shop.
Oh, that's right. Well, I just consider the merch shop to be for friends and family discounts, since you guys love to buy my logo-y stuff. But hey, if you guys want to buy some Slices and Dices merch, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would be nice. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for being that guy.
Nice.
Ben and Julie and the rest of y'all who have bought merch for Slices and Dices, you'll find it on our Streamlabs shop. So streamlabs.com/slices.
I still have it, and I have been on the channel the longest, other than Matt.
You do. I have a lot of stuff too. Like in my pantry, I have like Slices and Dices, like what do they call those things where you have to pick up a pan?
Pot holders?
Yeah, pot holders. Like
there's pot holders in the shop?
I'm pretty sure I have a pot holder. Yeah, either that or maybe
I would do that, or maybe you just
I just took the decal and just put it on the pot holder. I'm like, look, honey, look at all this. Look at the Slices and Dices pot holder. And she's like, Matt, what the fuck are you doing to our house? So yeah, buy some cool ass stuff, because look, let me tell you, it sparks conversation. People will go, where's that logo from? That's a cool ass logo, for either our normal Slices and Dices logo, which you'll find on all of our merch, or even our Alien RPG logo, which is sort of an amalgamation of the Alien and the regular Slices and Dices logo. A friend of ours, a friend of the channel, someone who's a great GM and just overall really great guy, Ryan, who has his own Twitch channel, Dark Domain RPGs, has been kind enough to... Heck yeah, a lot of our folks do. Sarah, I think Julie's done it as well. Maeve's done it. Brian's a great guy, and he makes his own fucking dice. So he's got. That's right, you have, Patrick. I apologize. Yeah, so he's got his own dice shop, right? He made custom dice for Slices and Dices with the logo as the 20 on the D20. Holy shit. I never thought in a billion years that I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to start a channel and I'm going to play Dungeons & Dragons or other role-playing games, and then they're going to have my fucking logo on dice. Guys.
I'm waiting for mine. They're coming. He's
Guys.
making them.
Nice.
Aww.
It's happened.
Bucket list.
Do you feel all warm and fuzzy inside right now?
I do, and I have to quell that now.
You do, because you need to try
I have to try to kill you all.
By trying to murder the 14-year-old. Yes, we know.
So now that our ablutions are done and our sponsors have been appropriately sacrificed to, let's go ahead and start tonight's game of Building Better Worlds, aka The Lost Worlds, with a recap, shall we? Here we go. So let me know if you guys can hear this very cool music playing as I speak the recap. Previously on The Lost Worlds, the Great Mother Mission, the colony ship USCSS Ionla, with its crew of hundreds in cryosleep, has finally reached the Spinward colonies. Your exploration vessel, the USSCS Solovetsky Island, with its motley crew of UPP, UA, and Three World Empire personalities, have been set on their first mission to locate the lost colony known as KOI 2650.01, also known as Gorham Colony. Arriving at this world after a few days' travel, you were assigned to assess this planet for future mining potential, scientific research opportunities, as well as any signs of local life worth investigating. And incidentally, one of the goals as well is to find the colony's black box receptacle or computing device known as the long data disk. That's right. So as you descended in your ship's SEV into the area of this world known as Tontus Ravine, you found, much to your confusion and dismay, no signs of life or civilization anywhere. Only plains of cracked earth and vast columns of dust swirling in the thin atmosphere, completely unbreathable. However, as you looked further, you found a heat signature coming from a lone mining facility at the bottom of a wide ravine. On the plain above, you saw solar panels and windmills, giving the facility certainly some outward semblance of civilization and certainly of power. And as you landed, you saw the remains of a huge Bison-class colony ship, completely derelict at this point. Well, it was time to disembark, so along with the ICC Inspector Tan Blatchman, you boarded the appropriately named Trina, which is Bo's tractor, and descended to the ravine floor, whereupon you found 6 armed individuals waiting for you outside of their facility. And upon greeting them, you said that you were from Earth. And with nary a word, they brought you inside. Whereupon you met 2 families, the Marino family and the Parks family, 3 from each. But both of these families seemed to have some sort of unspoken tension between them. While the Marinos seemed somewhat quiet and certainly cautious towards you, Morgan Parks, the spokesman for his family, welcomed you with great friendliness. Morgan himself seemed intent on, unfortunately, having a very private conversation with Bo Tucker, and in doing so, let Bo know that the Marinos were untrustworthy, and if you were to abscond with his family and his family alone, he would make it worth your while. Morgan's wife, Violet, seemed somewhat aloof and detached from her husband. So to better acquaint you with the facility, Morgan took some of you on a tour and explained that while the planet was rich in a mineral known as pendlantite, fewer and fewer colonists seem to have remained on the planet over the years. And it's likely that these 2 families are only one of the few remaining, if not the last, after a century of debilitating weather and attacks from indigenous life forms, such as, and I shit you not, this is what they're called, space locusts and leggy snakes. I didn't make it up, folks. I just read from the book. After a time, Murphy came to learn that the Marinos harbored dislike, if not outright hatred, for the Parks family, due to the fact that long ago Morgan's father, Patrick Parks, still on the planet but away, certainly at this time, killed Diego Marino's elder brother, Jose, seemingly in revenge for a crime committed against Patrick's wife. He does not seem to be around at this time. It seems that Jose inadvertently or perhaps unintentionally killed her, so revenge was taken against Jose Marino. Diego's younger brother, Danny, seemed somewhat uninterested with all of you, and so therefore retreated to his pod away from you all. Benny Parks, Morgan and Violet's teenage son, made quick friends with Dot and showed her the harvester kennel. Inside this building lay a huge, monstrous worm creature, harnessed to help tunnel within the mines, ostensibly for years. While commiserating over your young lives and the trials and tribulations that you both had, Benny admitted that he was almost positive that his mother, Violet, is having an affair with the young Danny Marino. Meanwhile, Clark, Chesterton Clark, our erstwhile scientist, still aboard the SCV, decided to investigate the interior of the derelict Bison ship, and learned from the mother computer inside that the navigation data from this ship's original trip from Earth hundreds of years ago had been completely wiped. Ostensibly, you learned, from the armed raiders that came to Gorham Colony only a year ago. All that was known of that crew was that they left the colonists alone, as well as the mine, and only boarded that old Bison ship, which you found the name to be the HMCSS Janku. Once aboard, these raiders wiped the navigation data from its memory banks. For what reason? You're unsure. Investigating an alien planet, however, comes with its risks, as Clark found out directly as a horrifying leggy snake chased him into the mother station, where he barricaded himself inside. Coming to the rescue, however, Savage and Tucker ran inside and gunned down that little fucker before it could eat Clark's face. Meanwhile, Murphy ingratiated herself with the Marinos and convinced them to allow her access to the vault beneath the facility. Now, the vault seems to have a need, in order to open the door, for 2 key cards. One, which seems to have been in Danny Marino's possession, and the other in Emilia Marino's possession. Well, once the door was open, Murphy looked in wonder at the variety of objects held within this vault, among which were several pieces of armament. And guess what? Now Murphy has a shotgun. Ho, ho, ho! As the disparate colonists and rescuers now regroup, alarms begin to sound within the facility. Dudge, your pilot, inside the SEV, radioed you all and stated that a massive dust storm was brewing up. It was close and very, very large. Too far away, unfortunately, to recover you all. Dudge took the ship immediately into orbit to avoid any damage to it. Emilia Moreno screamed and ushered you all to the basement as soon as possible, while others of the Moreno and Parks families ran off to secure the facility. That, my friends, is where we begin tonight. So let me give you...
I was already in the basement.
You were.
Before everybody else.
You were indeed. In fact, you were in the control block.
And we were literally on the stairs I was following those pipes
all the
down
way
into
down
the
to the
basement.
That is correct.
When the alarms went off and Benny left me. So I am hoping that gives me a quick chance to explore the basement on my own before everybody else shows up.
We will find out. Let's see how fast you are. Maybe we'll make a mobility check in a second. So let me just make sure that we are going ahead with some sound here. So you guys all hear the sort of echo of the wind outside getting intense and very strong. The alarms begin to go off. As Emilia Moreno, Diego Moreno, see Clark and Murphy, they usher you towards a set of stairs, which sort of is behind them. She points behind herself. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the map in a second. Morgan runs outside, so he is no longer visible. Violet does as well, and Tan Blatchman stares at you all with a look of intense trepidation on his face. So let me go ahead and move us all to that scene so you all can see where everybody's at.
I have a very important initial question.
Go for it.
Am I still high?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Probably.
You did, if you don't remember, folks, go back and watch the first episode. There were some drugs that you took, Clark, which I believe were sort of like, it was heroin, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I don't know how long heroin lasts.
Oh, I believe that we
variety of
Googled
reasons.
that and it's like 30 minutes.
Oh, really? I guess it depends.
We Googled it and it was much shorter than any of us thought.
That's
Well, it was much harder to get this information from Google than I thought it would be. I got a lot of help tips from Google, which is great.
very kind. Thank you, Google. Depends on the dosage, says Miss Deadite. Don't ask why. All right. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it's been about half an hour. So I think like you're slowly regaining facility, Clark.
Right.
Maeve Climber, right off the bat, thank you so much, Maeve. Redeemed
on.
an alien point from our points here in Slices and Doses.
Oh, thanks, Maeve.
To add a stress point to everyone.
So liberal when you're not the one killing us.
That's fine. She's killing you tertiarily. All right, so everybody jump up a stress point, please. I can't imagine why this wouldn't cause stress anyway. I just was kind enough.
Accurate.
I feel like we took one, but whatever.
I feel like you did.
Now we're taking another.
And now you're taking another one.
I'm
No,
gonna
I feel like we took one for the alarm at the end of session.
I think that's probably true, but guess what? You're taking another one. Sorry. That's just Maeve.
Fine.
It's
fine.
Maeve. All right.
I'm not actually mad.
the Maeve, but then she also take it away.
Oh, great. And now Miss Deadite is like, oh, I might add on to this. Come on,
Well,
guys.
I mean, they have points for reasons. That's the reason why we give them points.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
You
so-
have to do my art. It's fine.
That's true.
She's like, this is a way for me to get money. If I just kill them all off, then they'll just get more art and I'll get more money. That's
It's also more work.
It is more work, yeah. Well, work is money. Money is work. All right, so
Yes, you have given us a bunch of gear. Thank you.
That's
That
all
is
right.
true.
It just gives me
We
more dice
love
to
you.
kill
No, I'm
things
not
with.
mad at
more
you.
dice to kill
We
things.
love
Nice.
you guys. It's cool.
All right, so Emilia and Diego, guys are here. Yeah, they will usher you towards a door over sort of here. You guys want to go ahead and walk over there to the basement door? Diego puts his hand on Emilia's shoulder and he says, I've got to go turn off that alarm. I'll be back. And he runs out the door, putting on his gear, his face mask, and his headgear as he runs out the door.
Are we here or are we up at that derelict ship?
Oh no, you guys came back.
Okay.
You guys came back. After rescuing Clark, you guys came back in Trina, and that's when the storm seems to have hit. All right, so I'm going to open that door for you. I feel like the wind would be a little bit loud.
Oh, that door.
Yeah, that door, sorry.
Oh, that Libyan bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Doc and drag him behind me.
Miss
Since he's,
Deadite has also redeemed a
acting a
random
little
piece
funny.
of gear.
Ooh, for who, Miss Deadite? Who do you want this random piece of gear to be? For Clark!
She wants to see if he gets more drugs.
To see if he gets more drugs. I mean, there's always a chance.
There's always a chance. Now we all know that I'll take them.
So, that's fine. Go ahead and roll a d10, please, for me, Marcus.
What is that? / roll?
/R, 1d10.
Base 1d10.
I forget how to play this game. Oh, come on.
I just use the little icons.
That works too. Yeah, there's like a little die thing on like a 5.
5.
All right, let's check out and see what you get from that.
Maybe
roll-
it'll be a candy bar.
No, it's
Get
not
rid of the
drugs.
munchies.
It's not drugs, and it's not a candy bar. Go ahead
Oh,
and
something new.
roll a 1d4, please.
Snuff.
1.
Okay. As you This may be very, very useful. As you stumble into the basement, you kick aside a tarp, which is sort of like hanging out on the stairs, and you look back, and there is a very old and very rusted Watsasumi DV-303 bolt gun.
Oh.
Those things are nice.
So bolt guns are really great. They give you a +2 with heavy machinery rolls. They can also be used as weapons, but they do require reloads, and their range is very short.
But if I recall correctly, they do a ton of damage at short range.
They do some damage at short range. You can't go like full auto with them, but they, if I'm not mistaken, and Sarah, you can certainly look up the
I can look up the full
for the
stats. I
bolt
do
gun.
seem to remember that while slow, they are great for getting you out of a pinch because they will hurt someone.
They do 3 base damage.
Yeah,
But their range is
which is
short.
high for the game. Yeah.
That is correct. And it's armor piercing. It's
Yeah.
armor
Went face to
piercing.
face with a leggy snake.
That's
Mhm.
correct. So anything that has armor, this will have the armor on a creature that has that, or individual. But it is single shot and requires a reload.
Also pretty cool looking.
It is a very cool looking. If you take a look at it in the compendium, let's see if I can show it to you. Bolt gun.
Definitely in there
The
somewhere.
compendium has some very cool art in it, so let me see if I can show it to you. Hold on. Go into the compendium is right over here. You guys look in roll 20 if you
Oh,
want.
that is a great picture.
If you want to load up the bolt gun artwork here, it looks like it's like some kind of jerry-rigged thing from like the first Alien movie, but it's
wanna make
very
one.
cool. Looks like something like out of Mythbusters for some reason. I don't know.
It does.
And at
Except-
a low cost of $400.
Hey, I got like 58 grand right now. I could buy one of them.
Sure. So, Clark, go ahead and grab, if you want, I can do it on your character sheet, or you can do it. Just grab it from, you can literally drag and drop it from the weapons section of the compendium into your character sheet, and it will load as an item, and it will load as a weapon as well.
Yes, I'm trying to do that, but I'm failing.
If it's not working for you, Marcus, that's okay. I'll do it for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. You should have it there in uno secundo. Oh, no, you already have... Whoa, you've done it 3 times. So now you don't have 3 bolt guns. You've already done it. It's already there. It's already there, my friend. You've done it. In fact, I will relieve you of one of them since you don't need to be dual-wielding bolt guns as cool as that Massan.
Oh, man.
All right,
There we
so
go.
you've got your bolt gun.
Yes,
Excellent.
great.
All right. So I'm going to move you guys now to the basement. Tucker and Amelia... Oh, Blatchman follows you, for real. Tucker, do you want to go with them, or is there something that you're waiting for?
Hey, wait, does anyone see the kid around here?
Amelia
Where
sort of
me?
looks at you. She says, "No, I thought that she was with you."
Where in the hell? Can I make an observation check? Not that I think I remember where she was, because I was busy discussing things with other people. Would I, like, an instinct to figure out in terms of
We
splitting
have
the party?
comms.
You do. Yeah, remember.
Scott, where in the
if you're-
hell are you?
In the basement?
I'm gonna sort of flip the latch on
And
the
you hear,
maintenance
like,
jack.
you hear clanking as she says that. Like, she's clearly distracted. She's like, I'm in the basement.
I'm gonna flip the little latch on the leather strap that keeps the maintenance jack to my leg and just be like, if that kid is messing with things, and that's the reason that alarm went off, I'm gonna be very upset.
The alarm does in fact seem to subside. You assume that that's probably the work of Diego, who said that he was going to the control block to turn off the siren.
If my maintenance jack is my item, my signature item, can I get a story point?
I'm sorry, what?
Story point, right? If we interact with our signature item, we get our story point. And since
No,
it's a
if you
custom
interact with
maintenance
your-
jack.
You're thinking of
If
something
you
else.
interact with your story point, you relieve a point of stress.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, but don't you build up story points by interacting
No.
with your signature item?
Nope.
What you get is when you interact with your signature item, you also once per act
Oh, that's what it is.
remove a point of stress.
Thank you. Can
No
I
problem.
remove a point of stress?
If you would like to do so now, sure.
Yes, please. It's all right, baby. We're going to fix whatever the hell they broke out there.
Yeah. So you can take off a point of stress.
Thank you. That's what I wanted.
No problem. All right. So Amelia says we've got to get to the basement. Come on. And she runs over to the door. Check something out here. Okay, so I would say Dot and Benny certainly make it to the basement first.
I thought Benny left me. I thought Benny said,
Oh, you know what? You are right.
I have to go help get into the basement, and so that was why I said I made it, because I made it to the basement before everyone else. That's why I said I was down there rooting around.
That is correct.
Trying to figure out what was going on.
You are 100% correct. Benny did leave you to go and secure the facility.
Yes.
Which is why he ran out the door, leaving you to go to the basement. So I will take you, Gale, and bring you to the basement so that you can fuck around and find out. Sounds good to me.
Works for me.
All right. So you end up... Just make sure I have the right space. That is to Marino. That's the control block. Oh, no, that goes up. Hold on for 1 second here, folks. Apologies. No, that goes up. That staircase that you're on actually goes up to the top of the control block.
We were on our way down it to the basement.
Right. You can't actually get to... If I'm not mistaken, you can't get to the basement from there. You have to go to this space here. Diego.
I mean, you're the one... I was like, you're the one who put me on the map.
I did. Diego would actually not be there. Yes, I'm sorry. Let me reconsider here. Gale, you would be here. That's the main stairwell from the control room to the basement.
Okay, cool.
You wouldn't see Diego coming in, running up the stairs to the top of the control block to turn off the siren. You've already been ushered into the stairwell to the basement. You probably hear footfalls above you as you go down to the basement. As Diego does come inside the control block room. But beyond that, you are oblivious to any other outside influences. So I will now move you to the basement from that position. Okay?
Sweet.
Okay. So, this is the basement. See if I can give you a slight descriptor of the basement.
Oh, fuck, it's huge. Okay.
It is quite large. That's the first thing that you notice. That the basement is probably about the same size as the control block, maybe even a little bigger, and does seem to connect with the other portions of the facility. If memory serves, the other pieces of the facility are on the sort of eastern and western sides of the main control block. So therefore, it does seem likely that this basement goes underneath everything, as well as potentially other buildings that are near to the main houses of the two families. Right? So you now end up in the main sort of space of the basement. Let me see if I can grab a descriptor of space here. Here we go. The basement. Okay. So, the space in which you currently stand is some kind of a workshop. There are tools, various machine parts. You assume that these are probably here to fashion pieces of equipment that have failed or that have been eroded by dust and time for mining purposes for certain.
I'm a mining colony kid. I probably recognize this.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You also notice that you could probably, with enough time, use this material to fashion, you could MacGyver kind of a lot of shit here, right?
I think she's already thinking that, to be honest. She's like, what do we have here?
Yeah. You would basically just need a turn of work, right? Like 10 minutes or so, and a successful heavy machinery roll, and you could come up with a variety of things. I'm not saying that you could build a nuclear bomb in here, no. But you could definitely make do with some other stuff.
But I could make some shit.
You could make some shit. Okay.
So
I think
where
Julie
would
dropped out. We're bringing her back in a second.
where would those pipes that I was following from the control room from the computers, where would those conduits lead in this space?
Give me 1 second. I will tell you. I just need to move people around to the appropriate space.
Oh,
here.
yes. Oh, who am I playing right now?
Now you are playing yourself, amazingly.
Ah.
But we have some minor adjustments to make. Murphy
Guys.
and Savage. Hello. You're back.
We missed you.
Okay, so
missed
Murphy,
you.
Savage, Dot, Clark, Tucker. Okay, we're good. Super. Maeve Climber says the group's going to make it to the basement and Dot's going to have a power loader. Maybe.
Prom dress! I do have a Class 2 power loader's license.
She does. Class 2. Why not Class
it's
4?
fake, but I have it.
It's true.
Because Class 2 was what was available to me as an item.
That's totally fair. Over here on the eastern side, past the workshop, you notice some very large metallic bins and machinery. You assume that the pipes go down through the floor above you. Down here, they also then curve across the wall over to these two large metallic containers. You see these, you assume that these pipes are water pipes.
Oh, I was following electrical pipes. I was following the cables from the computers.
Okay, the cables from the computers.
Because I'm trying to, because if you remember correctly, when we were up in the control block, I was trying to get an idea of if the long disk was up in the control block.
Right.
I had some shitty rolls, but determined it probably wasn't.
Right.
And so then I was like, oh, well, where do all these, like, where do these computers connect to? Where do these cables go?
Okay.
And he said the basement. That's why he was taking me to the basement.
That's
before
true.
The alarms went
That's
off.
true. If you were, instead of looking at water pipes, you're looking at electrical pipes, like you can discern the difference. They snake across the wall and go further to the east of your
Then
current position.
I'm going to start heading to the east then and seeing if I can find where they go.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple more minutes before the rest of them join you down in the basement.
All right. How about over here?
Yeah, over in this section of the basement, you spy a number of things. You spy a generator, which you assume is sort of the main power store or power system of the facility, as well as computers, probably on the other side of it, that would measure and control all of the power systems. So, like all the lights, all the doors, all the if there were elevators or any computer systems that require power would be controlled here in this system.
Cool. I'm going to take a look at these computers and see if I can see if the long disk is located here.
Okay. I think that before you left, you had an idea as to what this long data disk itself was going to look like. Maybe you got a readout, or maybe all of you individually, especially considering that it's one of the main objectives for each of you as you're trying to investigate these colonies, is to find this long data disk. Well, the long data disk looks like a sort of a cylindrical black tube, about 1.5 feet long. Being that it is a receptacle for data, it doesn't necessarily need to be plugged into the core computer systems, nor do you see it plugged into the electrical or power system here.
But can I make a search on this computer to see if there's any record of where it might be stored?
I think you could, yeah. You could make a ComTech roll.
Alrighty. Different computer, dice be nice. No mod.
Two successes and a
one
panic.
Panic. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Luckily,
Twitchy, but I still get to do it.
yeah, you begin to realize that you hear these sounds of the storm, like buckling the walls. You feel like the actual pressure from the sandstorm outside, which has now certainly come within range of the facility, is beginning to do very strange things to the walls and to the roof above you, which is essentially the floor above you, right? The actual control rooms above you. And so I think that as you see the walls begin to sort of shudder and twitch, you yourself get very nervous as to what could possibly be causing that. So therefore, you get a nervous twitch. So your stress level increases by 1, but it does still enable you to finish your search through the systems for the long data disk. I'd say you were successful. I'd say that you found out a modicum of information that the long data disk itself is stored in the vault.
Figured, but wanted to know. And I would like to use my stunt for new or unexpected information.
Okay. The map seems to have dropped out.
Oh, weird.
Let's see where that is. Oh, there we go. It's back. Okay, for new or unexpected information. Okay. I would say that you also find a definitive list of all of the items in the vault.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. The vault contains an armory with 2 Armat 37A2 pump-action shotguns, 1 Wayland Storm rifle, and 2 M4A3 pistols, as well as the long data disk. You also see that there is the
long data disk is in the armory.
Correct. You also see that the vault, well, it's in the vault, but the armory is in the vault.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you also see that there is also one item within the vault, which is a cache of gemstones in a suitcase.
Okay.
That is the new or unexpected information that you get. I think by that time, the rest of the team has now entered the basement. And
she will jump up from the computer as soon as she hears that. And
you spy them like all the way across the basement. Like you spy them probably about 2 zones away from you.
Mm-hmm.
As they all come rumbling down the steps very swiftly down into the basement from the Parks house above. So I'm going to go ahead and move them into your space, and then I will shift ping so that everybody knows where everybody is. Okay. Can you guys all see where you are?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm moving around the corner so that they can see me.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So, the 6 of you that have just come down to the basement, including Tan Blatchman and Amelia Moreno, spy this space. It's a very dank, very cold space, actually. You spy your breath sort of fogging as you come down into this level of the facility. And as you look around in this particular area, you spy that the only thing that is preventing you from being absolutely shivering is this rather large machine, which is generating a certain amount of heat. Those of you with a certain amount of background in mechanics or something like that recognize this machine almost immediately. It's a very old model for certain, but it is a Wayland-Yutani 3200 heating system.
Hey guys, nice weather we're having, huh?
Little chilly down here.
Yeah, Doc kind of walks over and kicks the heater, and she's like, "Yeah, this thing's a piece of shit, but looks like it's working as best as it's gonna."
Amelia Moreno like runs past you all, and she says, "No, we can't stay here. This is not safe. We have to go into the storm shelter." And she points to a door to the north, right here.
Okay, lead away.
And she runs over to the door and opens it. It's a very large, very heavy door. And she looks behind you all, and she says, Where is everybody? Where are they all?
Benny said something about securing the facility and then ran off.
She looks at you, very worried look on her face.
What exactly
I
makes
know.
that safer than anything else in the building, especially if we're already down here? What makes that door better than this door?
It's built to withstand a very large pressures in case of anything else. The storm shelter itself is, I mean, it's very, very reinforced. We made it. Well, I didn't. My great grandmother. It's very, very safe. Trust me. And then she runs inside.
I'm gonna follow her. I saw that storm from the control room. I don't want to be caught in that shit.
You sure did.
Cozy.
Well.
It's a smaller space inside, for sure.
Where was that armory again? Is the door still open?
The door
Do we
is
know
not
so?
open.
The armory's in the vault, which is locked.
Yeah,
Correct.
where's that vault? That's
You
locked again?
you've never been down here, Tucker, so you have no idea.
That's what I was asking. Did Sarah leave the door open, or are we oblivious to it?
Sarah did not go into the
I
vault
never went
either.
in the vault. I was just at a computer in the basement.
Correct.
Got it.
All I know, the computer told me what's in the vault. I can't get in the vault. The vault needs 2 keys to open.
Correct. The only
Bella's the
person
only
who's
one who's been in
actually been inside the vault is Murphy. Murphy was allowed entrance to the vault by Emilia Moreno and the key card from Danny Moreno.
Then I follow.
Okay. So you all end up in the basement.
Clark's going to go over to the corner and lay down on his back with his arm over his face and just says, shit, shit, shit. He's starting to come down. off of his eye. So he needs a minute.
Dot just kind of looks down on him like, all right down there?
He just puts up the A-OK symbol.
Alrighty then. Guess he doesn't like storms.
Okay. So, let's check out here really quick.
So can I retcon that Dot grabbed a couple of tools on the way in and she's now cleaning up the piece of shit maintenance jack?
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's okay.
Because I got the maintenance jack last time, so she's sitting there kind of just scraping some rust off, tightening bolts, putting it back into better working order.
That's fair. I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, so she just sits on the floor. She'll sit down next to Chesterton while he's having his little freak out and just start working on the thing, sitting on the floor.
What are you trying to make again? Sorry, apologies. I want to make sure they.
As a random piece of gear in the last session, I received a piece of shit maintenance check.
Right.
So she's just cleaning it up. She's scraping some of the rust off. She's tightening the bolts, making sure that it'll still function as a maintenance jack.
Okay, that works for me.
That's all. Just keeping herself busy.
Okay. Emilia stands by the door next to you, Tucker, and she looks at the corner of the basement, waiting. After about a minute or so, you hear the sounds of footsteps coming down one of the stairwells, and you spy, running towards the storm shelter, you spy Morgan Parks. He's absolutely covered in sweat and dust. He pulls off his rebreather and his headgear, and he runs into the storm shelter. And he's sort of huffing, puffing. He's like, where is everybody? Where's Violet? Where's Violet? I didn't see her outside. Where's Benny?
Benny said he had
They
to
went
secure
out
the
there to
facility.
secure things.
He looks immensely worried. He steps outside for a second, and then he hears this sort of horrible screeching of metal. There's this sort of... And you think it's like the sound of metal on metal, but then it is coupled with this sound. Let's see if I can have it here. Have it. Where is it? Oh, I do not have it. Yeah, here it is. It's coupled with this sound. This horrible roaring sound, which is then sort of which breaks into the sound of a crash of sorts. And Morgan and Amelia look up towards the ceiling, and there's a sort of a shudder. And she says, "Oh, shit." And Morgan looks at her and says, "He got out. Fuck, he got out."
Oh, shit. Dot will look up at that immediately and say, "Who got out?" What was the worm's name again? They had a name for it. It was like Herbie or something?
That's right, Herbie.
Nice.
She just kind of looks up and goes, "You don't mean Herbie, do you?"
As you say that, you hear the sound of 2 more sets of footsteps, running footsteps coming towards the storm shelter. And at the doorway, stopping right in front of you, is Benny, who is covered in sweat, and his hands are bleeding. And Violet helps him inside of the storm shelter. She's like, "It'll be okay, it'll be all right, it'll be all right." And Benny is just like absolutely shaking with fear and pain. And Morgan's like, "Well, I guess that's everyone." And he walks towards the door, and Amelia puts her hand on his chest. "What are you talking about? Diego's not back yet." She says, This is your fucking plan, Morgan Parks." And she says, No. We just have to wait. We just have to wait." What do you guys all do?
It looks like Savage is the one who's closest to me, other than Chesterton. So I kind of look down at Chesterton, see that he is currently useless. I'll set down the maintenance jack and just kind of go over and like look at Savage and just like give him the like, "Come here for a second," while they're arguing.
I'll follow her.
Just kind of pull him back over to this corner and just be like, "That's Blatchman."
Oh, sorry. I moved Blatchman over. Blatchman sort of like nervously looks at you as Savage comes over and he's like, "Oh, sorry.
So, these guys have been digging out their mine with some kind of giant space worm that they wrangle using these like 20-foot long shock prods, and I think it just got out."
Oh, that sucks.
But yeah, it sucks for a lot of reasons. A, because it probably doesn't like them very much, and B, because it basically just eats the ground and then shits out minerals. So I really hope this room is as strong as they say it is, because if it's not, we might be fucked.
Okay. As you say this, Emilia says, Diego! And she, Diego also, his arms covered with dust, his whole face, like it looks like maybe the rebreather broke because he's coughing and you see dust coming out of his mouth, as he's coughing, running into the storm shelter. And she holds him and hugs him, and Diego says, I just gonna get inside. And he begins to like vomit as he runs into the storm shelter, Amelia holding him the whole time. And then she says, Where's Danny? And Diego looks at her and he shrugs. His face goes absolutely white. No, we've got to go. And then there is an enormous smash as you hear above you this horrible smash of metal, and clearly it's coming from directly above the basement. Maybe the entire fucking facility has been just rammed by Herbie. You feel the entire room sort of shake, and the roof begins to sort of make a very slight buckle.
Guys, I think your pet's a little pissed off. Don't suppose you got anything in that vault of yours that'll stop him, do ya?
Okay, at this point, apologies to you all, but you are all going to take 1 point of stress.
Fair.
Okay. See if I have any other notes.
When you say it buckles slightly, how badly are we talking?
Maybe like 3 or 4 inches.
And this is the safe place?
As you say this, Amelia's like, it's never gotten out before. And as she says that, Emilia says, I've got to go get Daddy! And she runs for the door, and Morgan just grabs her and holds her back. Benny also comes in from the other side and holds her. And she's screaming, she's crying, tears are rolling down her face. Daddy! No, 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 Daddy! Morgan walks to the door, shuts it, and pulls a massive crossbar, which locks in place.
Is there anything in this room that looks like if one of us was to try to be brave and stupid out there to go and save somebody, it could be helpful?
Something like what?
Rope or fire hose or...
You didn't see a rope or a fire hose.
One of those electrical prods.
Killing gun.
You did not see any electrical prods in this space. They're all in the kennel.
I was thinking more something to navigate the storm. Like the wormwood.
Like set up tethers,
I see what you're saying.
But yeah.
Like pythons and hemp is my anchor point here. Like if we have 10 pythons and we stretch out sort of Antarctic snowstorm style.
Mm.
Doing a thing.
You could jerry-rig some pythons, but there's no rope.
There's probably some spare cable around here somewhere, though, if you're saying this out loud.
You could use cables.
Yeah, no, I'll say that absolutely. Is there anything we got around here that can help us try and find? How many people are we missing? 3 people? 2 people?
Just Danny.
Just Danny. Well, listen, everyone counts, right?
Is Danny still in his pod?
I mean, I guess he is. I don't know. And Amelia is just she breaks down and starts to just weep.
Oh,
Where
Daddy,
exactly
no.
is his pod of cam? Is
Wait.
it directly above?
Yeah, before anyone goes outside, this basement's really big. It kind of goes under everything. So if you wanted to go get Danny, it might be better to go through the floor?
Yeah.
Like, we could easily rig a cutting torch out of the shit that's out there if you don't just have one laying around.
Morgan says, we're not going anywhere until the storm is over. I've just sealed the door, and I will not unseal it, he says, until that storm is gone. There is no one that's going to jeopardize the safety and security of my folks. I don't care where the hell you're from. Violet walks across the room and says, isn't that just like you? He says, what are you talking about? She says, you only care about yourself. You don't care about any of these folks. You don't even care about me. You've never cared about me. And she reels back and punches Morgan across the face. He staggers across the door and says, that wasn't very smart. Ow.
I absolutely make eye contact with Benny when that happens.
Benny, his hands are shaking, blood is covering them, and he just looks at you and just like, he just shakes his head, no.
Is there any type of computer interface in this room?
Say that again, Marcus, sorry?
Is there any type of computer interface in this room?
There is no computer interface in this room.
Haha. Fucking yes.
That's right. Fucking S.
I'm going to move up and separate the two of them.
Okay. It's easy enough to do. Violet screams from across the room as you separate. You were the worst choice I ever made in my life. Your whole family, your father, he caused all this mess in the beginning. We wouldn't be down here. We wouldn't be left to die. And Morgan just stares at her with this look of implacable stillness. And he says, quietly, so you've chosen him then?
I can't do it in real life, but Dot lets out one of those low whistles.
Oh, you think I didn't know? Morgan says. I knew. He wipes the blood out of the corner of his mouth. Spits on the ground. Think I didn't know? You and him? Well, you were very naive, Violet. But that's all right. I forgive you. Violet just crumples to the ground in your arms, Savage, and just begins to slowly sort of shudder.
Violet, what mess are we talking about?
Violet does not respond to you, Savage. She just stares at Morgan.
Can I use my M316 motion tracker and see if I can get any kind of motion reading outside of this room?
That sounds plausible. Let's see. I want to be sure of what it is that motion tracker can check. This is M316 or M314?
M316.
Beautiful. Okay. So M316s can check things at medium range as opposed to long range. So anything within, say, 30 or 40 feet of you.
What kind of roll do I need for this?
That would be a Comtech roll, but you also need to make a power roll because these things consume power.
What does my power roll consist of?
So in your character sheet on the bottom left-hand corner, if you haven't already put in the power for your motion tracker, we can do that now. That's totally fine. So the power of these devices, I believe, is 5. I think they take 5 power, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then you can just put in 5. You then click on the power. We'll roll 5 die. If any of them are a panic, then you will lose 1 power to that device. So every time you use, there you go. Okay, so it dropped 1 panic. So that means that you lose 1 power to your motion tracker, Chesterton. But
Gotcha.
Go ahead and roll me a Comtech roll.
I have to move windows around.
No worries, no worries.
1 success, 1 panic.
Okay, roll your panic, but I doubt that it's going to make very much of a difference, but we'll see.
I don't know, we're getting up there.
That's true, that's true.
Up there. Where's my panic?
Next to your stress, if you go next to the word stress, there's a little icon that kind of looks like a die. Just click that and we'll roll it for you.
There we go.
Keep it together, easily. Okay, so you hear... Let me see if I get the motion tracker sound in here. I think I do. Have a whole lot of sound effects here, folks. Sorry. Where's my motion tracker sound? I have a really good one, too. So many sound effects. There it is. You hear this sound. Just the sound of the motion tracker. Boop. Like, no, you don't spy anything at all. And then, all of a sudden, your motion tracker does pick up something in medium range. Like one thing, but it's to the south of you. It could be anything or anyone.
Chesterton is still lying on the floor, holding this motion tracker while on the floor, kind of trying to make shit happen. And as all of this drama is going on around him, he hears the beep, and he says, as incredibly interesting as this telenovela is becoming, you guys want to take a look at this. And he just holds it up so that they can see. He's only able to do about half of what he normally is as he's coming off of these.
Who are you showing this to?
The people who are sitting closest to me are Dot and Savage, I think.
That's fair.
But I literally just hold it up in their direction. It seems like a small room, so I feel like most of the room can probably
see it, yeah.
Looks like Murphy walked over to you too as well, Clark.
Yeah, something is coming. Maybe it's Danny. You guys have like a secret knock or something?
There is a a horrible sort of wrenching sound from above you. You hear, and the entire ceiling shudders, just, and you hear the unmistakable sound of probably thousands of gallons of liquid being dispersed above you.
Oh, that's really bad. Hey, angry patriarch guy, I think you're about to be overruled because I think we're all going to get digested if we stay here much longer. And that's really not on my bucket list.
What do you mean?
Just points at her. Like,
Morgan looks up at the ceiling and he hears the sound of liquid. He goes, fuck, the water tanks. It knocked over the water tanks!
Okay, look, we just have to survive this, and then our ship will come back, and we can get you all out of this wasteland. But right now, I feel like staying cramped up in this tiny room when a giant worm is probably going to eat us is a really bad idea. That is just my 2 cents, but let me put it this way. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and I don't care if you like it or not.
I second that motion.
How big are those water tanks? Do we need to get out of this room, or do we need to get out of the basement?
Okay, great question. Let me make sure I have. There's an event that I'm going to be running now, which I just need to make sure that I find here.
You can call them lair actions. It's fine.
It's not a lair action until I call it a lair action. But let me find the event here that occurs after the water tanks explode. In the storm shelter. Let me make sure I have it here. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Found it. Okay. Okay. So. He says, Morgan looks absolutely terrified. And he says, I don't know if going out there is a good idea. The water tanks, if they exploded over the basement, it's only by engineering and design that the storm shelter actually survived that. The basement could be completely underwater by now. If you open that door, it'll flood the whole place.
How many gallons? How big are those water tanks?
You saw the tanks outside.
Yeah.
When you guys arrived. The tanks are the size of like a 4 or 5 story house. And there were 3 of them.
Can I
And I'm guessing that your rebreathers do not work underwater.
He shakes his head.
Do you want some sort of check to try and quick math, whether it is flood this room, flood the basement, flood both, or room to breathe?
He sort of seems completely confused as to the inanity of a question like that. He's just like,
I think Patrick was asking you. If
I
thought
you were asking Patrick.
Yeah, no, I'll do both. I'll ask Matthew, the DM,
yeah.
And I will make a manipulation check to shake him into answering the question.
Okay. Make your manipulation roll first. Let's see how that works.
Any bonuses for annoyed mechanic with math?
No.
Success. Fuck you.
Solid. Beautiful things.
Sorry.
No. You don't say fuck you. I will say fuck you back. Let's see. Yeah, Maeve says, in space, no one can hear you drown. Yeah. I mean, it's about right.
Thank you, Maeve.
For a fresh change of pace.
Or if you are reading the Chinese translation of it, is drown no sound because space make deaf. 100% accurate.
I give you chat points.
Yes.
What a reference.
So thank you very much, chat. Now I've completely forgotten the fucking question. Patrick, could you please restate?
How much water? Drown in basement, ? Breathe in basement, ? Run away, ?
Okay. How much water? We're talking about, most likely, depending on how much water has seeped through the ground into the basement, the entire basement could be flooded.
But
That's what
I
you
guess
get
my
from it.
question is we've been told it's a big basement.
Mhm.
We've been told that this place is hermetically sealed.
Yes.
We know there's multiple staircases up.
Correct.
By law of how fast things can flood,
Mhm.
is there an air pocket for us to breathe and go out one of the two doors, whether it's close or far? And if he answers the math quick enough for me to understand a sort of guesstimate based on me running downstairs, seeing the open space, running to the door, can I grab the maintenance jack, whip the door open with that full sort of submarine spin, and start getting us the fuck out while preparing people for the fact that we need to brace ourselves?
Okay.
For dramatic sake.
Fair enough. Here's what he'll say instead. He says, I don't know if I can even open this door. It could be that the pressure of water behind it is not going to even, I won't be able to even open it because the strength of the water behind it is not going to even allow me to get out of it.
Door towards us, door away.
Towards you.
That would have to be a door towards us. The water would push it open.
It would push it open, but whoever's behind it would just get absolutely destroyed by the water.
And that's where me thinking if everybody stood back and I did a mechanics check while stepping away from the open.
Okay.
Could I spin I'm assuming it's a large sort of dial?
He
or
said
is
it was a crossbar.
Yeah, it's a crossbar. So here's what I'm going to say. If you open the door, water is going to start to immediately gush into the space in which you are on now, the shelter, right? If you let go of the hatch, the weight of the water will actually... Let's see if I think this correctly. No, I'm sorry. The door opens outwards. The door opens outwards. It doesn't open inwards. That makes much more sense.
Okay.
Well, then if you take the bar off and we can't push the door open, we know the basement's already full of water.
Exactly. However, if the door is able to be opened, water's going to start to flood in. If you let go of the door is going to close, right? The weight of the water is going to close it. It'll stop the flood, but it's going to trap you inside, essentially.
But the argument would also be that if we had enough people pushing, the displacement of the water into this room could lower the total level, which allows us to swim out
But of course, the amount of water to flood the shelter, I would say you probably have 2 rounds at the most, depending on how much water.
That's kind of why my question to him about does he know how big his own water tanks are?
He does.
Would allow me to do quick math. Theoretically, as a guy who deals with gas tanks, travel space, distance, and volume.
Yeah.
Potentially. No, Patrick doesn't actually know.
No, I get that.
I trust that Tucker could know.
I think
Figure out if the volume of water would be enough to fill it to the ceiling or if there would be room for heads above it.
Thank you, brain cell.
Cool.
You're welcome.
I think that it would, if you opened the door and tried to keep it open in order for you guys to get outside, I can't believe I said that, but you guys to get outside, that's a New Yorker in me, you would have to swim through the massive pressure of water to get out into the basement. You'd need to make drowning checks, right?
We've got sealed spacesuits with helmets.
I'm hearing survival check on this
Like
map question.
if these can keep us safe in the vacuum of space, they should stay sealed underwater.
Also fair.
They don't, meaning the Morenos and the Parkses.
Oh, I know they don't. I know they don't. We do.
Oh, well, if you don't give a fuck about them, then grats.
Well, the next thing that Dot was going to say is, if you guys want to stay in here and tear each other apart, that's cool with me. I would rather not just wait around to be eaten by a giant worm.
Okay. So what's the plan?
And are there drains in this basement or a sump pump to get rid of the water, or are we trapped here permanently?
We would have to make it to the stairs, assuming that the entire basement's flooded. We would have to swim to the stairs. Yes, Tucker.
Mathematics question still in play. Could Tucker calculate the quick math of looking at the room before we get into the hermetically sealed safe room and make a judgment call about the gallons of water versus the space he saw?
I'm still not sure I understand, Patrick, what you're asking me. I'm sorry. Maybe my brain isn't working.
Patrick is trying to figure out whether the amount of water in those tanks would be enough to flood this basement all the way to the ceiling,
right?
Or if it would only fill up to like 6 inches below the ceiling and they would have a space to stick their faces up and get air.
Gotcha. I think that the answer is the former and not the latter.
It would fill to the ceiling.
It would.
Okay.
Does
A
the
lot of fucking
displacement
water.
of this semi-horseshoe-shaped room that we're in right now displace it enough to lower it at least a foot so there is an air bubble?
Yes, I would say so, yes.
Then,
Hold your breath till the water
yeah,
settles, and then you'll be able
I
to
think a
breathe.
survival check or another command manipulation would be where Tucker would be like, listen, I can do the math. This is how we fix this problem. And we all get the hell out of here, and we don't die in our own coffin. And I'll roll whatever you want.
Okay. Make a manipulation roll. I think that's good enough for Tucker.
Success and a
Nice.
panic. I'll take the panic.
Take the panic. Oh, okay. So in your furor to get through to these people,
I'll throw it on the floor.
you just take one of your shits and throw it on the floor. Let's see what I'm gonna ask you to choose an item in this case, because it seems a little awkward to have you drop an item in the middle of a very stressful situation.
The throwing a blast charge seems wrong. Throwing my maintenance Jack's signature item seems wrong. It's got to be the never sleep pills or the hydration.
Yeah, you just toss it. The pills just across the floor.
I mean, maybe I knock something out of the cargo pants.
You just, god damn it! You smash your cargo pants, and like the never sleep bottle just shatters.
I'm mad, and I'm stamping my feet.
I'm hysterical.
I'm
I'm shouting.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, cool.
I'm
I'll
wet.
take the never
I'm
sleep
wet
pills
and
off
I'm
then.
hysterical. Yeah. So okay. It goes off without a hitch still because the drop
Right.
item is not a 10. So I think that people, as incensed as they are toward each other in this circumstance, they are going to listen to your plan.
So is that then logically, I think, arguing, thank you for the DM, a heavy machinery check to try and wrench the door open with the maintenance jack?
Technically speaking, let me just check the book here.
As you're checking the book, Dot is going to say, might be a great idea for everyone who's not Bo to come stand back against the wall so you don't get thrown into all of us when the water comes through the door.
Okay.
But whatever, I'm just a kid.
That is a
She
plus.
says as she literally hauls Chesterton up off the floor and like pushes him back to stand with his back against the wall like she is.
Lock
She
our
also-
helmets. Lock our
Yeah,
helmets
she
back
also-
in place.
She also double checks Chesterton's helmet because he is clearly fucking out of it right
Mm-hmm,
now.
mm-hmm.
So she'll check his
Also
helmet.
holding a ball gun.
Yeah, exactly. Holding a bolt gun, just like shaking.
Yeah.
I don't think you can shoot water, Betty.
Let me just
Says
check
you.
something here. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Those of you who are not... those are the people that we can see on this screen right now who are not in protective suits are going to need to make drowning tests. Sarah, if you... This is the first time we've done this because we've never been in an
Mhm.
underwater environment before.
Yeah.
So if you go to page, according to this, page 110 of the core rule book...
Core 110. Okay.
I'm going to do the
Other
same.
hazards.
And being the awesome person that you are, would you mind reading
Drowning.
the
Okay.
drowning condition and what people will have to do? I mean, not you folks, but the NPCs
All right.
to avoid being
Uh,
drowned.
Okay. All player characters are assumed to know how to swim for the purposes of movement. Swimming counts as crawling. If by choice or not you are underwater, you need to make a stamina roll every round. This roll is not an action and is made during your turn before you perform your actions. If you fail, you suffer 1 point of damage. If you are broken when drowning, you must make a death roll each turn until you die or someone saves you with a medical aid roll.
Okay. So that's what's going to have to happen for Morgan, Violet, Benny, Emilia, and Diego.
Haha, suckers.
And actually, really quickly before we open the door, Dot's gonna say, "Oh hey, one more thing. We have air, you don't. We need to get into your vault if we want those weapons. So give us the key cards and we'll get the shit out for you."
Emilia says, it won't do us any good. Danny's got the other key.
I thought...
Danny.
Doesn't
I
Morgan
gave
have
it
one too?
back.
You gave it back to Danny.
But Morgan has one, doesn't he? Wasn't
Amelia-
it Morgan,
Maybe,
Amelia, and Danny?
Amelia has one, and Danny has one. 2 keys.
Only the 2.
Oh, I thought that... No, because didn't a key have to be in the Parks family too? You say only the Marinos have keys to the vault?
Only the Marinos have the keys to the vault.
Oh, I thought that they went and got Danny because Morgan was gone with the... Or somebody was... Or, no, Grandpa is gone with the other
Patrick.
Key. That's right.
Patrick has the other key. The 3rd key.
Oh,
Right.
sorry.
Shit. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
this is Tucker.
Well,
Not
Jack, keep
you,
doing that.
Patrick.
well,
Patrick
we're
Parks.
gonna try to find Danny.
All
So
right,
one is better than none.
Let's
Okay.
above table for a minute. How are we splitting the minute this door floods us? Let's make bad choices, team.
I mean, we gotta help them get their asses to the stairs first.
Yeah.
Then we can stay in the water because we can breathe.
This is when you guys will decide exactly who is your buddy and who is your rival. I have made the decision right here and now. Exactly like where this thing sort of flies apart is like who's on my side and who's not on my side.
If that's what we're doing right now,
Might as well.
if I've already put it on my character sheet but I haven't told you yet, can I do a thing? for my
Sure.
rival?
What is it? Okay.
I would like to step over to Chesterton Clark and smack him awake and go, Doc, we need your brains on this one. And your call, command or manipulation.
That is a definite command.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
Here.
That's
but
4.
but a panic.
And a panic.
4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that could all be for naught if it goes 10 or above, Beaucephus.
I'm shouting.
I'm shouting.
But plus that and that I'm
The,
gonna bank
the stunt is a +1
all
to the target's
three-
roll
yeah.
to carry out your order, so he'll get a +3 to whatever he has to do.
That would be great. But let's see if it makes it with this panic roll.
boop.
Ooh, you are lucky as shit. Okay. So, you did increase the stress from the drop item from before, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I'm
cool,
up to
cool.
5 now.
Yeah,
after
that makes
my-
sense.
my
That makes sense. You're at
brief
5
reassurance
stress.
and backup.
Cool. So now you tremble. All skill rolls using agility. and
Oh,
this is-
shit.
are going to be with a -2 modification. That includes
But
mobility.
That's just me.
That's just you.
That's fine.
So your mobility now is with a -2 penalty
That's fine.
until your panic stops.
I am going to use my non-wrench hand to grab him and violently shake Chesterton in his suit, being like, Doc, listen, I know you're doing your thing right now, but I'm trying to do math in my head, and you're smarter than me, so I need you to focus so we can get as many people out of here alive as possible, hopefully all of them. But we need to split the team so we can get that card and get things to shoot the giant worm, destroying everything above us. Are you with us? And I'll drop all 3 into
command.
command bonus, yeah.
Beautiful.
Chesterton gives him a thumbs up and tries to wink, but it's just a blink. He's like,
Amazing. Let's go to someone who hasn't sort of been very, very vocal about what's happening and what's going through her mind right now. Murphy, what's going on with you? And very laid back, very aloof about this whole thing. What's going on?
I wouldn't say she's laid back. She's just observing, which is something she's used to doing when she's on stage as she's singing, is observing the crowd, taking it all in so she knows what's going on so she can act the right way. So she is taking all of this in, and she really doesn't know who to save, but she figures the kid, Benny, needs to get out there first, save the kids first, and so her thought is to make sure that Benny and Dot get out.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Savage, you're always at the ready. What's going through your mind?
Oh, he's just bracing himself against the wall, waiting for the water to hit. And then he's going to get people on the move. Grab whoever doesn't seem to be doing well and getting them out of here.
All right. So, here's what's going to happen. Tucker, you're going to go ahead and with your heavy machinery roll, you're going to unlatch the lock, the pry bar, from the door. And then you're going to open the door. Water's going to come flooding in. If you keep that water open, we're going to roll initiative.
Yeah.
And we'll see how everybody makes it out. You guys will just be moving, I assume. But who knows what may be out there. Water.
Oh, you fucker. I am going to kiss Sheila at the top right where the sort of winch head is and just be like, come on,
that's
baby,
right,
now's
that's
the
your
time to
thing.
show off.
And just so you know, crawling is a slow action.
Yeah, right.
So moving is a slow action.
Here's what I will say. That the intense flood of water is going to require all of you to make mobility rolls one by one just to get out the door.
After the potential successful not dying in a coffin.
That is correct.
Well, let's roll that and see what happens. And I'll
Let's
make the first
go.
mobility.
Make it happen, Tucker.
Roll that beautiful.
That
Good
is a
gracious.
success in my panic.
That's a lot of
Because-
panic.
Captain consistency.
Possible.
Nervous twitch.
Nervous twitch. So that brings your nervous twitch from a 7 to an 8,
Yeah.
right? Because you've already gotten. Actually, you had it tremble before,
Yeah.
right? So that actually
technically goes to a
technically
9.
brings it to a 9, which is another dropped item, Tucker.
But at
I'm
least
gonna roll.
9 ends
Correct.
it.
It does.
So
It's
then
not
you
a
don't
fail.
have to build on it. Yeah.
Exactly. So Tucker, your hands shaking, you press up against the wall, your maintenance jack comes out, you slam it into the socket, you give it a huge wrench. You guys watch as Tucker just like Thor, just he grits his teeth and pulls down on this heavy machinery roll, and his winch sort of presses down. You get this horrible squeak of metal on metal, and water begins to seep through the door frame. Tucker, you try to grab for your maintenance jack, and it flies up, and what falls out of your possession and is destroyed?
If it's not my signature item, it's the hydration pills.
Done. The hydration pills are absolutely destroyed.
I don't think we need those right now anyway.
Yeah, you're going to be hydrated, super hydrated in a second.
Quick follow-up. Yes.
Okay.
Based on Sarah's comment there about 9 not being an extended panic roll, do I drop to 0?
I don't mean your stress drops to 0. I just mean that the next time you roll a panic roll, they only stack if you're actively panicking when you roll on your
Correct.
number.
Exactly.
So since 9 is not an active panic, it's a this thing happens and your panic is over.
That's right.
Got it.
You don't automatically build to 10. On your next
100%. That's exactly correct.
Well, then I
All
will
right.
make my mobility first.
Tucker, you open the door, although I don't have another map with the whole basement flooded. That would be too much to ask of our friend Jesper. Indeed, the entirety of this basement is absolutely flooded with murky water. There are sparks that you can see across the way from the other side of the basement where the heating system has been flooded, and all of the mechanisms and all of the electrical power that has been shunted to it has completely shorted out the heating system. If it were that the electrical system would have completely made this water such that you would electrocute yourself, you would be dead by now. So clearly, that's not the case. But this water is rushing in. All 11 of you, I should say, are going to get an additional stress point. And as Maeve Climber says, crying is a free action, so please make use of it.
No.
Can I utilize my command bonuses to know exactly how much time we have to get everyone to the stairs?
What did your command bonus give, Clark, Tucker?
It was a
Plus 3.
Plus 3, sorry.
Plus 3 to any roll that he does that you command him to do, is that right?
Yes.
Carry
within
out
the
Plus
orders.
3 to
commands.
carry out his command, yeah.
And what was the command specifically that you gave to Clark?
Help us figure out how to do. Help me do the math. Help get us out of here. Your brain is bigger than mine.
Okay, if that's the case, Clark, if you want to sort of like see all of the different, like you see the Matrix for a second, then that'll give
Do
you
your Doctor Strange.
that will give you a plus 3 to any observation roll that will give you the information that you need. So tell me what you're looking for, Clark, before I answer your question.
So I'm looking to see, now that I've actually seen the water in the space, and I've been in the space that the water is currently filling, and I've been in the empty space, to kind of know how much that water level is going to go down, to get a really close guess as to how much time we have to get to the stairs before there's no longer air for our
two rounds.
friends.
2 rounds.
Two
You don't. I won't even make you roll for it, just because I don't want to have any more bullshit, panic, and stress spiral go on with you guys. I'm that kind. Yes, I will say that you can bank those 3 for any future roll, but I'm just gonna say two rounds because I said it before.
What's the average timing of a round in Alien?
Is it
6
2
seconds.
rounds? Is it 2 rounds before they have to start making stamina rolls, or?
Yes, 2 rounds
Okay.
before you make stamina rolls. That's correct.
Okay. So technically, we have more than that to get them out, as long as they don't all have 1 hit point and fail their first stamina roll, and then fail a bunch of death rolls.
I will be above board here and say that each of them have at the very least 3 hit points, 3
So
health
that's
points.
a potential for 3 more rounds of failed stamina rolls to still get their asses out of here.
Exactly.
So for dialogue purposes, what's that in time?
So each round is, I think, 10 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, in Free League rules. So that's 30 seconds at the minimum.
Great. Chesterton looks down at his watch and he says, 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go.
Your watch, which is sort of like a futuristic Siri variant, says 30-second timer. And I want to share with you guys a very cool handout,
Ooh, yay.
which is something that I've been... Wow. It's a little art handout of the flood itself. So I think this is clearly, someone who is opening the hatch and all of the water spilling into this
Nice.
space. Very, very cool. Nice art.
Love it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up our turn order here. You guys can all roll your d10s. I'm going to say that for each of the NPCs, I'm not going to give all of the NPCs individuals because that would be more than 10, and I don't want to have people like with the number. So I'm going to have all the NPCs on 1 number. Okay. And that includes Tan Blatchman, too. Actually, yeah, Tan Blatchman, too. All right, and then the NPCs. So let me just get this into the turn order. Gale got a 4. 10 we haven't done yet. Savage got a 5. Clark got a 8. Bella Rose Murphy got a 1. She will go first. And Tucker got a 9. So let me now roll a d10 for NPCs. And that is also an 8. Also a 4. A 7. All right, so all the NPCs are going to be at the same level as Tan Blatchman, who got a 7. All right. So, Bella Rose Murphy, you are up first. Please make your mobility roll to get out of the room.
Any negatives on that?
No bonuses, no penalties. Just a straight mobility roll.
2 success.
All right. 2 successes, no panics. You make it out easily. You can bank the extra success if you would like, Murphy. That gets you just past Tucker. So you're swimming
Yes, please.
through
You can
this
also
massive blast of
possibly
water.
give a 6 to someone who fails.
That is true.
All right. I will consider that for that time.
Okay, give me 1 second. Yep. Okay.
Did the music stop, or is it just my headphones being jerks?
I think your headphones are being jerks because the music is still going.
Yes,
I'll wait and I'll wait till after my turn and then I'll read it.
No worries. All right, Gale, it is your turn.
All right, mobility up.
Mobility roll, please.
Come on, dice.
1 success, no panic. You make it out right past Tucker as well.
All of those goddamn dice. That
Wow.
is
It's a lot. It's really good.
It's my highest skill. And
Lot of
one
low
success.
You're a little kid.
Oh, no panic.
You can get through easily.
Yeah, damn it. Swing.
We are now at Mr. Savage. Mobility
right.
roll, please. Two successes. You can bank one of those as well, and you can swim out past Tucker, Murphy, and Gale. Okay, here comes the fun, folks. All these NPCs. They're all gonna roll. Let's start with Tan Blatchman. See if he makes it. So, mobility. That's 0 successes, 0 panics. So Tan sort of takes in a big and then as soon as the water hits him, like he just and like the bubbles start to come out of his face. You guys watch as he sort of panics and thrashes. He sort of swims to the door past Tucker. He can't get past Tucker, and he's sort of in his suit. He's just struggling. He's going to, as of all people who fail their mobility rolls, are going to be. They will need to make a close combat roll to drag whatever blocking character that they can't get past down behind them and out of the way. So that's exactly what Tan Blatchman's going to do. He's going to make a close combat roll.
Can I give him my extra success?
Sure. That would be very kind of you. So, what does that look like in terms of the actual game?
I see him struggling, and I grab him and drag him through the door.
Love it. Fantastic. You grab him, whoosh, you pull him through the water that's already risen to about like neck height, just due to the intense pressure, and you guys pull Tan Blatchman out of the room. He's panicking inside his suit. All right, let's go now with Morgan, Violet, Benny, Amelia, Diego. Straight through, one by one. Morgan. 1 success, easily. Done. Violet. One success. She's successful as well. Benny. Little Benny. Doesn't have that many mobility, folks. No successes, no panic. Swings over in front of Tucker. He loses his footing for a second, and then slips as the water begins to rise. He struggles through the water, and he's going to try to push his way past you, Tucker, with a close combat roll.
Do I roll it against that, or?
Nope, it's not an opposed roll. It's just a straight close combat roll. If he makes it with a success, then great. 1 success. So he shoves you behind him, Tucker, and swims out to meet the rest of the folks that are still in this space.
If I'm wedging the door open, does that actually move me back, or am I still holding shit in place?
So at this point in time, I'd say that by the fact that most of the people have swum out of the room, the water has pushed into the space and is now keeping the door open. Okay. I would say, right? There's no way to stop it at this point. Let's go with Amelia. Three successes. So unfortunately, being an NPC, she can't bank her successes, but she is very capable and swims easily out past you, Tucker, and into the space. And then
Did she give one to her kid, though?
She gave none to her kid. Unfortunately, that's just the way NPCs work. Diego. Let's go with him. Once again, all these NPCs, they all survived, folks. They all survived. Okay, we're at Clark now. Mobility roll, Mr. Clark.
I clicked the wrong button.
One success, one panic. Please roll your panic. Okay. -2 modification to mobility. Now, Tucker, you already have.
Yeah.
You actually no, your panic ended, right? Because you went tremble, drop item, and then your panic ended, so you're fine. Because you dropped, you've already suffered enough, I think. But Clark, ongoing, you have a -2 modification until your panic stops. So that's like that's going to be, I think, 10 minutes. So it's like about a shift. But it's still not a 10, which means that you make it past Tucker and swim out into the space.
I made it.
You made it. And finally, the NPC who we've waited on. The Hodor of this particular
The PC.
situation.
I'm not an NPC yet. It's not a corpse.
Did I say NPC? I meant,
You
sorry,
did.
wishful thinking. Anyway,
Remember, my next character's worse.
I know, they always are.
No bionic arms this time, though.
No bionic arms this
No
time.
gun arms.
Space
Entirely on
truckers.
how many arms he rips off my next couple characters.
I will, if you have a character with more than 3 arms, I will make it 2.
I meant multiple characters.
Multiple characters, multiple arms? Cool. All right.
You want this roll?
Mobility roll.
Oh,
That's bad.
Balls.
and
That's so
there
bad.
we have completed the wish, ladies and gentlemen.
So Clark, you swim
Yeah.
out, and then Tucker,
yeah,
as you
fuck.
try to swim out, like your foot gets caught, and everyone else is swimming out.
Can I give him one of my successes? So he
You're-
doesn't die.
Well, he's not going to die immediately. He still has to make drowning. He has to make stamina rolls.
He's also still got air. He's got a sealed suit
That's true,
on.
I do
That's
have a
true.
suit.
He's
True.
just like swimming in the water at this point in time.
We also have to all make another panic roll. Is that
So-
correct?
With his panic, which was a scream,
Oh, yeah.
like he screams, and you guys all hear it in your comm units. He's like, ah! Because the water has swept him. I'd say this water has swept him to the back of the room. Spoof. Bam! Your stress level is decreased by 1, but everyone who is a friendly character who hears you, which is basically everybody but the NPCs, must make an immediate panic roll. So that's Murphy,
Here
Gale,
we
Clark,
go, friends.
Savage, all 4 of y'all. Oh my god, guys. This is the death spiral.
Oh, are we in a scream? Are we in a scream spiral?
Murphy
We're in a
screams.
scream spiral. I scream first.
I scream for
Murphy
ice cream.
I
screams.
know ice cream die first.
So let's just go through this. So
We're in the scream cycle.
this is a
y'all.
multiple scream cycle. So Bo screams, then Gale, then Dot screams, then Murphy screams. Like all 3 of you scream at once. It's a scream fest.
So when Murphy screams, mine went down, but it goes back up to 6 because
It
Murphy
does.
screams.
It does. It does. And then Clark keeps it together oddly.
Clark, how does? Oh, he rolled a 1. That's why. I got
This
that.
is amazing. Everyone's screaming, and Clark's like,
Nah.
That's because the drugs haven't totally.
the drugs
worn off
have
yet.
not worn off.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Red. Yes, shit
Oh,
has
wait, it
definitely
doesn't-
gone
It
sideways.
doesn't go back up. I just have to panic
No,
again.
you just have to
because
panic
of
again.
Bella.
That's correct.
Christ.
Oh my god.
And now I'm frozen.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. So your
And it
panic,
goes back up to 6.
so your panic goes
Which-
down, it goes back up again. The stress level, I should say, goes down, it goes
Yeah.
back up again, and you
And
are
I freeze.
frozen, which means
the
one
next
round
round.
you cannot move. You can't swim
Yeah.
out. It's a good thing you have your helmet on. Okay.
Yep.
So do
also
we all
note,
have to make
everybody-
another panic roll?
No, if you've just made 1 because of the scream.
Well, no, but
Well-
they all need to make them for me and Bella.
See, here's the thing, right? I don't want there to be like a repeating 33.3 repeating, of course, scream
Okay.
death spiral. This is one of the things that the game does.
Oh. Well, then this
Well-
freeze wouldn't happen because I screamed.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that the scream ends the panic condition, right? You make an
Mhm.
immediate panic roll. If it's a scream again, no one has to make a panic roll. We'll drop it 1 down from a scream to whatever the 11 is.
Okay.
I think
So then
that's much more fair.
So I
Pro
didn't
bono.
need to roll this 10 and my stress level didn't go back up.
That's correct.
Because I wanted to say, everybody note that if you roll a panic effect that increases your stress level, the sheet does it for you automatically. So don't double
Yeah,
panic
don't
yourself.
double stress yourself.
Don't double stress yourself. Yeah.
That's correct.
But do we all need to increase our stress level because of Dot's?
No, because No, because the freeze didn't happen. That was me
Correct.
thinking that was me thinking we were in the scream cycle that Matt has said we're not going to do.
That's correct. This is so very confusing, I'm sure, for all of our watchers at home who are like, what the fuck is happening?
And that's because they never saw Birger Hedenstrom's attack Catatonia loop.
Right?
Also, amidst the screaming, there is in chat a redemption for shit goes sideways.
You know what? I think that was kind of that was prescient, as they say. Red Platinum has redeemed 9,500 points for shit goes sideways. Well, this is certainly halfways to sideways. What will happen? I'll think about it. I think I have a good idea about what I want to have go sideways even further. Yes.
Point of order.
Please.
Julie pointed out that she did have more than one success.
Okay.
If she or Ben had a +1 to somebody else as their redemption,
yes,
we could stop the entire spiral by preventing my panic attack.
Savage used his
okay.
to get...
Bella asked to use hers on Bo.
And she did use hers on Bo.
So that if that auto-successed me...
That was after the fact.
Yeah,
then
that's
you know
the
what? Here's what I'm going to do.
Pro bono rules layer.
Nope, fair enough. Love it. Let's do this. Murphy, I want you to give me a description of how you help Tucker through the door as he gets pushed back by the absolute current that has hit him. What do you do?
She had stayed within arm's reach, so as he starts to get pushed back, she just reaches back and grabs him and pulls him forward.
Okay. I will allow it. That's fine. We're going to stop this panic spiral until appropriate. That said, shit will still go sideways. Don't worry, Red. And shit will go
it's
underwater
possible she
sideways.
had one hand on the door frame, one hand on him, and he just stayed put.
I like that idea.
I'm just edging my own death. It doesn't matter how fast.
We like edging in a lot of different ways. So, Tucker, go ahead and move yourself back up to the front of the door.
Let me close all the tabs. so far away from all of that.
Bloop.
Okay.
So we still have a couple rounds before you guys. Well, you guys can swim underwater, so that's totally fine. But these guys are underwater and they don't have any breathing apparatuses.
But we did clarify that the water flowing into that room would make a space above the ceiling that they could swim up and stick their faces in if they needed to.
That's right. In that room.
Well,
right. So
rules of displacement means that water is at the same level everywhere.
That's correct. Which means that in the basement. Right. Let me figure this out here real quick.
Is the ceiling in the basement lower?
No, it's the same height. So that means if I'm calculating correctly, and the water goes into that space, and it wasn't that way before, that means that the water drops down some in the basement.
In the entire space. Yeah.
Just enough, maybe 6 inches. If that's the case, Morgan, Benny, Diego, Amelia, and Violet just rise to the surface, gasping, and their hands are on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's that classic scary movie, oh my God, we're dying.
Yeah. So all of you are sort of swimming, treading water. The suits themselves are not very buoyant, I don't believe, if I'm correct. They're pretty heavy. So you guys are probably on the floor watching the 5 of them tread water above you.
As their suits have mag boots on them, do they?
They don't have mag boots, but you're able to walk through the water at a I would say half pace. Okay. So shit goes sideways, huh? Okay. Check something.
Dude, don't look at Maeve in chat. That's all that matters.
Oh, let's see what Maeve said. Chat.
Oh no.
Why'd you say that?
Fine, I assume
the displacement in the basement.
Oh no, never mind. You can't.
Wouldn't actually affect it in any meaningful way due to the size of the basement. This is space. I'm just gonna hand wave it and say it's space. There we go. Done. Physics.
There was a drain in the small room.
Planetary
it was a small
water
drain.
tables.
The sump pump is working just slowly.
Sump pump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what. Before we go to break, this is what I think you guys are gonna say. Each other. You're all standing there on the bottom of the flooded basement with Violet, Morgan, Amelia, Diego, and Benny all treading water. They're all sort of gasping and screaming. Savage.
Sorry.
Savage. You look through the flooded basement. You see to the south, there's like sparking electrical equipment. Clearly completely shot. And that's when you sort of look to see what is that? It looks like a piece of sort of floating junk. And then that piece of floating junk twitches and moves. And you see on each side of it 5 spindly legs splay out.
Ooh, swimming leggy snake.
And they begin to undulate. And then another one behind it as well. So you see on your side a total of 2 leggy snakes that I'm going to put onto the... And
Don't worry.
Put them on the turn order and have them roll turns, and then we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll see...
Where are they?
You can't see them, Gale, but they are right in this vector.
Oh, they're like just outside.
Yeah, just outside your line of sight. So Savage, you see 2 of them. I don't know if your guns work underwater. I guess we'll have to find out.
I bet the bolt gun does.
Bolt gun certainly does.
And the wrench does.
And I was gonna say the maintenance jacks do.
That always works.
Guns shoot underwater just fine.
I mean, we're taking it from an actual Marine, so... Like,
we trust his
machine
knowledge on
guns? Like, if you
subjects.
shoot a machine gun underwater, it actually shoots?
Yes,
Holy
they
shit.
actually shoot. As long as water doesn't get inside the bullet, it'll shoot. Because that's where all the ignition is in that airtight little space.
Does it cause... Well, we'll find out after we come from break. I'm asking all kinds of stupid physics questions. This is fucking space.
It slows down. It's not gonna, like,
Oh, that makes
bore.
sense. Right.
Yeah, it's not going to go the way you want.
Thank you for that.
It'll lose momentum and angle. Over
Okay,
the
we're
course of-
going way too nerdy with this shit. We're thinking way too much.
What the fuck channel do you think we are?
All right, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, more insane physics and nerdy shit with some leggy snakes mixed in. See you guys in a little bit. Hey, folks, we're back. Okay, and there's a problem that we have, and that problem is leggy snakes.
There's a couple of problems though.
Yes, at least
Snake,
2 problems.
Leggy snake. What are they
feeding
you?
Okay, so we're still in turn order. I rolled for the leggy snakes. They got a 2 on their initiative.
Bastards.
Yes, exactly. Savage, you're on comms. Free action to talk, of course. What do you guys want to say to each other?
We got leggy snakes. Get everybody up the stairs.
I've been
No,
waiting.
thank you, the ocean.
I was waiting so long for Ben to say, "We've got leggy
got
snakes."
leggy
Take it back.
Leggy snakes.
From which direction?
My side.
All right, Murphy, you hear that? What do you want to do?
I'm going the other way.
I mean, there's stairs right behind me.
So where are stairs at?
Stairs are here.
Like, I'm literally in... Yeah,
Like literally right there? Those are stairs?
Those are
literally.
stairs.
Okay, we're going there. Okay. How far can I get?
You can get one
I guess
zone.
it depends on mobility, right?
No, you can get one zone. I would say that you could get like up halfway up the stairs.
Doing that.
Okay. You spot that there is a like where you walk up the stairs, you expect to see, a space with air above you. The stairs go upwards. How best to say this? Based on what you see that the water is sort of channeling down from the floor above. You would expect then that when the water tanks exploded, that they flooded the first floor of the house as well as the basement. But probably not to this same extent, right? There would be like a few feet of water on the first floor of the house versus the basement, where obviously the water has filtered down into it.
Right.
So do you want me to leave you there, or do you want to use your slow action to make another move into the first floor of the house?
I'll do that. Slow action, move on up.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm going to bring you up to the first floor of the house. If you want to come back down, let me know. But as far as I'm concerned, that would potentially, at least for now, put you away from the rest of the team. I'll do that right now. Second. All right, so there is Bella Rose Murphy. She's over here. You spy the rest of the facility. It's like as you expected, in like 2 or 3 feet of water. Yep. You open the door. Sploosh, all this water absolutely floods into your space. Your suit is soaked. The base itself, the space, it's completely dark, silent. You don't spy any power because none of the lights are on. Just gloomy red sunlight filtering in from the cracked windows that have been absolutely smashed by this storm. As expected, the water tanks, you spy them out the... basically having just absolutely smashed down and breaking in one wall of the house, leaving a giant gaping hole running from the roof all the way down to the basement and its foundations. That's what you can see. Okay, let's go back down to the basement where the leggy snakes are going to go.
We've also got a gear drop in chat.
Awesome. Let's see who it goes to. Savage.
Savage.
Beautiful. Savage,
Nice.
roll a 1d10, please, sir. 8.
Is it drugs?
You always ask, and I never tell you.
I mean, it usually is.
I mean, it's only been drugs twice.
I feel like it's been more than that.
It is not drugs this time. It is, I think, something Ben would appreciate. Roll a 1d2 for me, Ben.
There's no 2 on here.
Coin.
Just roll it, slash R 1d2. Or flip a coin.
All right. Slash R D2
Space slash
or 1d2.
R2d2. Yes, no. Slash R space 1d2. 2. Okay. Floating in the water and sort of at the bottom of where you're standing, you see a Wildcatter B9 blast mining charge.
Ooh.
Yeah. So just put that into your inventory if you want indeed to pick it up. It's a blast 9 mining charge.
Is that under your in gear?
Yeah, you can just put it under gear. Just say blast charge.
No, I mean in the books.
Oh, is it in the compendium? I don't think so. Let's check.
Is it something I can drag and drop, or do I gotta type it in?
I'm checking. Here. I think you might have to type it in. I don't see... Yeah, I don't see a charge in the compendium because it's only from the core rulebook. This is actually from... this is from the Building Better Worlds book.
All right, what was it again?
Just call it mining charge.
Okay. Dang it.
So, grats to you, and thank you, Zacher, who has redeemed that piece of random gear.
Yes, thank you, Zacher.
Cool. Wet explosives, always reliable. Ben, I'm sure you're going to tell me that explosives have absolutely are perfectly efficient when they're wet.
Depends on the explosive.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay, what do you want to do here, Savage?
I'm gonna shoot at the leggy snakes.
Okay, but before you do so, I forgot to mention that it is their turn. So I'm gonna have them move towards you. They will move their full movement. One will double move as a slow action. So you only really have one of them that's going to be able to do something on its turn. So this nasty leggy snake going to do the only attack that it can, which is to try to bite you. Its hood sort of flaps open, and you see its beady little... actually, it doesn't have any eyes. It's even worse. Yeah, you see its mouth open, full of fangs, no eyes whatsoever, and then it just tries to fasten itself onto your arm.
Nice.
Here we go.
It just wants a hug.
It just wants a hug with its mouth.
Free hugs.
On your face.
Free hugs.
0 successes. I didn't get a single success. Okay. That is the leggy snake's turn. Gale, it is your turn now.
All right. Did I see Hank pick up the blast charge?
I'd say yeah,
I
sure.
did.
Yeah, I think you did.
So as my turn starts, first thing I would do is say on comms, guys, the long disc is in the vault, and I don't think we're getting another chance to get it. So if we want it, we got to get it now. Think that would open the door?
It might.
Ooh.
I'm making an ooh face.
Ooh. And then the response is, great. So if we knew where the fuck it was, we could do that. In the meantime, I want to make sure the people who can't breathe can get out of here. So Benny is close to me, and I would like to kind of push him towards the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, you're down below him. You can sort of like reach up and grab his legs.
Yeah, I just want to kind of like grab. Yeah, I just want to kind of like grab his legs, and which I'm sure scares the shit out of him until he sees me.
Yeah, you see his legs
just
sort
like,
of flutter like crazy.
And I'm like waving at him with the other hand, and then I just start tugging him over and give him like a shove up the stairs.
Okay, that's fair. On his turn, he will take that as an extra move essentially.
Yeah, and that is all I'm gonna do right now.
Okay, cool. Then Savage, it's your turn.
Because she's very focused on that vault.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna shoot the leggy snake.
Okay. I'd say they're in close enough range that you don't have to worry about how far the bullets go.
Gotcha.
That is one success, but that's your armor.
That's armor.
Yeah. You rolled. You pulled your armor off.
I did.
And decided to smash the.
Beat him with it. All right.
Just beat him to death. Yeah. Just roll your.
I see what I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No worries.
There we go. It's at the bottom.
The pulse rifle.
Come on, man.
Pew pew.
Oh, you gotta go for the clicky window, remember?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was dealing with it.
Okay, 3 successes with your pulse rifle. No, 3 successes, no panic. Base damage 2. So you have at least 2 damage, depending on what else you want to do.
Ranged combat stunts include +1 damage, so each one of those extra successes could be an extra point of damage. Then there's also swap initiative card with opponent. Opponent makes a panic roll. Opponent drops a held item or weapon. Opponent is prone or pushed back. And you're not on auto fire, so the last one doesn't matter.
I'm gonna, let's see, base damage 2, so I'm gonna put a third one into him.
Okay.
So he gets 3 damage. And then the last one I'm gonna use to switch initiatives.
Okay. Very nice. So that means that for the next round, it will have a 5 and you will have a 2 for the next round.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, you guys hear sort of a muffled underwater. It doesn't sound like the inimitable sound of the pulse rifle that we all know and love. It's underwater, so it sounds more like under the water. There is a burst of orange-yellow light, and this snake evaporates with 3 damage. The other snake is obviously unaffected by this, but I'm going to say that because of your stunt roll, I'll say that it still changes the initiative roll for it. All right, so there's 1 left that you are aware of. Anything else, Savage?
No, that's it.
Blatchman and the rest of the NPCs will now go. They hear 10 Blatchman freaks out, and he is unarmed, so he will absolutely swim and then run up the stairs where he saw Bella Murphy. So he will disengage from this combat almost entirely.
Oh, and I did say what I said on comm, so even though she's not in the room, Bella would have heard what I said.
Yes, about the blast charge.
So I know where the. Does everybody know where the safe is? Or am I
No,
the
that
only one
is,
who knows
that is why I said if only we knew where it was, because out of game Sarah knows that you're the only one who knows.
That's true.
Of the
Bella's
PCs.
the only person who knows. Okay.
All right, well, shoot that other leggy snake thing, and I'll be right back, and we can figure that shit out.
I love it. All right, let's go with the other NPCs. We've got Morgan, Benny, Amelia, Diego, and Violet. They are going to swim towards the... Yeah, they're going to swim towards the stairs. Amelia's the closest to it, though. Amelia's like, oh, God! Oh, God! And you guys can't hear her because she's above the water, but you can sort of see her thrashing, and her hand is like pushing the water away. And
leggy snakes incoming?
It looks like she's got something that it has wrapped around her.
Oh, shit.
And she is above the water, so you couldn't see it. That it had dropped down on Amelia. So there is at least another leggy snake. I'm going to put that onto the turn order as well. Actually, no, it stays with the other turns. I'm just going to put it on the board. Boom. So it's right there, folks. It's right next to Amelia. Okay, yeah, so Amelia is going to try to... She's going to make a close combat roll to try to get this thing off of her. The rest of them are going to beat feet, so to speak, and try to swim towards the stairs. All right, so here's our close...
Benny has help from me.
Fair enough. All right, Amelia rolled her close combat. 2 successes, so she is able to punch this thing, and it lands in the water. Sploosh, you see the form of this horrible serpentine creature with these sort of stick-like legs that distend from it. And it's going to attempt to bite the creature closest to it on the next round, for sure. Benny is going to make a mobility roll and try to get up the stairs. Benny fails, unfortunately.
Does my using my action to move him towards the stairs help them at all?
It gave him a bonus.
Oh, okay, and he still failed.
He still failed,
God
and
damn it,
no
Benny.
panic. So Benny he's flailing. He's trying to push away these horrible creatures, if any of them are potentially more of them above. Let's go with Diego. Diego's going to make his mobility roll to try to get up to the stairs. He succeeds, so he is able to push past Benny and get to the stairs.
So much for women and children first.
Listen, Diego is out for Diego at this
Oh
point.
no, I mean that's actually just something that Dot mutters to herself as he does that.
Chivalry is dead.
Chivalry may in fact be dead. I mean, it is his younger
Toast.
brother, so who knows. All right, Morgan next. Morgan will make a mobility roll as well. Morgan succeeds, so he ends up as well on the upper floor.
Fuck my kid, here I go.
And then Amelia and Benny, and then Violet. Go. Violet succeeds. Right. So we've got Benny and Amelia still downstairs, folks. It is now Clark's turn. Clark, what do you want to do?
Clark would like to bolt gun the nearest leggy snake.
Okay. You're going to have to get closer right now.
So can I move and
You can move next to
shoot?
Savage, yes, and then you can shoot, of course.
Or next to Amelia, since there's already a gun on that side.
Either one. There's one on each side.
do I need to roll mobility?
Nope. You don't need to roll mobility at this point because you're still moving within the zone, right? You don't want to go up the stairs.
Right.
So you can
So I
move
can
within
move,
your
like,
zone.
here?
Exactly. And then fire away, sir. pleasing
When I
sound when you're ready to go.
When I resize my window, it moves everything. All right.
Shoot your shot.
Try it.
Shh.
Too many windows in the way. There we go.
All right, that is 1 success and 3
Oh.
panics.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Ow.
So
That's about right, though. For
you
Chesterton.
fire the shotgun.
It's a bolt gun.
The bolt gun. Fair enough. And you do have a success, but 3 panics. So first of all, when you make a panic roll with a ranged weapon, you lose all of the ammo in that gun. However, in this case, because it's a bolt gun and requires a reload anyway, you don't need to worry about the reload because, or I should say, expending all of your ammo, because you have to reload your gun on the next turn anyway.
Right.
However, because you rolled a panic, or 3 panics in this case, you still need to roll your panic rolls. Just 1. You don't have to roll 3 panic rolls, obviously, to see if your shot hit. Woo! That was good, man. You got a 9, so you do drop the item.
I just accidentally put an extra me on the map. My cursor is being weird.
Oh my god, you did put an extra me. That happened. It's 2 dots.
There, she's gone.
Good.
My cursor accidentally clicked on my character and dragged her onto the map because I was trying to do something else.
Okay, so the good news is that you do in fact take you get all 3 of the base damage from your single success from your bolt gun into this creature. It has no armor, so it absolutely decimates this creature as the bolt gun round hits it and just turns it into little gibs. It is absolutely destroyed. However, you do drop an item under the water. Let's see what you have, Clark. Let's see. You're obviously not going to drop the bolt gun. I'm going to say you drop your motion tracker. The motion tracker fills with water. You hear a crackle of static, and it is gone.
They let out a small scream as I shoot.
Excellent job. Tucker, it is now your turn.
Yeah. I think the right move on my part is to try and use the maintenance jack on the remaining leggy.
Okay.
So that we have allies that will do favors for us.
Alrighty.
So... fast action aim, slow action hit, +2, right?
Fast action aim.
First time I've combat with Tucker.
I know, right?
The first time I've done this in a year.
It's fast action aim and then a close combat roll. So that'll give you a +2 to your combat roll.
I would like to do that.
Let's go.
Success and a panic.
1 success, 1 panic. Roll your panic.
Keep
it together. Hot damn. And that gives
Nice.
you, I'd say that the maintenance jack is a pretty heavy piece of iron. Probably does at least 1 damage. Guess what? These creatures only have 1 hit point anyway. So you swing it above you. You reach high up enough that you're able to stretch out your arm and whack this thing. It wraps itself around the maintenance jack, and you see this thing just open up its hood right in front of your face. And you grab it by the face and crush it with your bare hand.
Damn.
It is dead.
And then I guess free action, just usher everybody to the stairs and sort of hold the ground for a minute here.
Yep. That makes sense. And now it's Murphy's turn. Now, I think at this point, considering where you all are at, and considering that the what's it called? The colonists themselves have air. They're able to slowly but surely make their way out from the flooded basement, up the stairs to the now flooded floor above. So I will go ahead and, if you would like, move you all to that space.
I think we wanted to go back into the water.
Yeah,
That's
we
up to
wanted
you.
to try to get. We wanted to get in the vault.
Armory.
I think Bella was waiting for the snakes to be gone to come back down.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'll
Also,
keep you
my turn
downstairs.
hadn't happened yet.
I am so very sorry. Well, we're not technically in combat anymore, so you guys can make
Right.
turns at
will.
At will.
So yeah, she's gonna go back down the stairs, and she's gonna say this way, and she's just gonna straight there.
Okay, then if that's the case, I'll move you back down to the basement, Miss Murphy.
Thank you.
Breeze, here you go. Shift ping, so you all exactly know where you are.
Get Benny and Amelia out of here.
Oh yeah, let me get them out of here.
Dumbass colonists.
Dumbass colonists. Cornbread. Sorry. Something cornbread. There we go.
Eat it. It's good for you, boy.
Yeah, good for you, boy. There we go. Done. Tucker, Gale, Murphy, Savage, Clark. You're all down there. Okay. Here's the interesting thing. You open the door to the space next to this pressure door, and you see that there is a hatch in the ceiling. It seems to be some kind of escape hatch. But it is directly above the line of the water.
But might
Is that
have
where
more
the safe
water.
room was?
Say that again?
That's where the safe room was, wasn't it?
No, the safe room was not there. The safe room was to the south.
Sorry,
No worries.
can't remember that far back.
Probably more water above
So-
that escape hatch. I wouldn't open it until we know we have to.
Left
yeah,
or
no,
right?
No. Let's... This way, right?
It's actually
South.
Yeah, if you go
Or the
back
other
to
way.
the middle of the room, and then go around the adjoining wall where you're at, Murphy, to the south of it.
So like there.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
There are a couple of doors here, okay? And the one door that you are at right now isn't the vault door. You open that door and you see that there's another sort of small adjoining room, which is also flooded at the same level. You move even further down into this space, and immediately your Geiger counter on your suit starts going tick, 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 as you realize that you are now in the main reactor space
Oh, we don't want that.
of the...
Oh, I thought she knew where she was going. That's why I thought. Damn it.
I don't remember where it was. I'll be honest. Murphy would, but I don't as a player.
Fair
so
enough.
I'll just
It's over here.
It's the one with the
next
lock
one. The
symbol
one with the
on it.
lock
That would
on
make
it?
sense.
The one with the lock on it. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. I'm like,
You're like,
I'm just
where
very
am I going?
I don't remember where I'm going. Sorry. Murphy would remember.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Murphy would.
You guys went through a little trip to Reactor Lane. It's fine. So,
Well,
you
now
guys
we
are
know.
standing in front of the door to the vault.
All right. Savage,
All
I
right.
hope you know what you're doing with that shit.
So, Doc, any idea if this thing is going to be good when wet? I don't know much about mining charges.
Yeah, Dot looks at it because it's a B9 blasting charge. You could run that thing over with a tank and it would still work.
There we go. All right.
All right. So you get that set, and we're going to come. Now, I'm worried about the concussive properties of us being in the water with it. Would that be a problem?
Yes. It would definitely be a problem.
So we
Yes.
should maybe get on the stairs out of the water?
Yeah, that
Or
would be a
just
good place.
On
Is
the
this,
other side of the wall over there.
yeah, around the corner and behind something would, it'll probably be fine.
Okay. Sure. Do that.
Okay, is this a remote detonation thing?
I'm glad you're asking because I'm looking at the mining charge here on page 61 of the Building Better Worlds core rulebook here. And I'm reading that this particular device... 61...
Getting there.
Gonna get there before you, Sarah. Gonna get there. Got her.
Okay, because then 61, I am not seeing the blasting charges.
Wildcatter-
Protective equipment.
Yep, Wildcatter B9 blast mining charge at the top under ammunition and explosives.
Ah, there we go.
A focused charge designed for blast mining the B9 can be detonated by timer or remote.
Fun fact, they seem to have the same stats as the marine blast charges.
Yeah,
Blast 9.
it looks like they. Yeah, it looks like they do.
Same thing, different package.
Indeed.
I
Essentially.
have a question though, based on weight, is I would listed mine as 2.5, and I don't know why, because I had picked up some blasting charges for excavation stuff.
Is it 2.5 for the total number that you have?
No, total number weight.
Yeah, I know. As I was saying, if they're 0.5 each, how many do you have?
Which, I mean, that's the thing.
Or-
Is
well, actually,
between
technically,
two and
2.5.
this is
That's the
weight.
problem.
This says weight 1.
Yeah,
Weird.
these things are weight
Yeah.
1. They're big mama
Okay.
charges.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think I grabbed a few more, and I don't know if Matt and I maybe just misgauged how heavy they are.
I'll check it. We can check it afterwards. It's not a big deal.
I mean, it would be episode 1, I think.
Yep, I'll check it and see what charges that you... Because they wouldn't be these kinds of mining charges. They'd be different kinds of charges, right? So
That's the question: is if it's in the marine book and this book, and it's the same blasts, same weight, are they the same?
I don't think so. So it's in the marine book, you said?
It is. The
I'm
marine
looking
book.
for it right now.
Thank you, Sarah. You could do that while I help actually
Yeah.
get the story moving forward. All right.
Exactly. I was just about to say, why don't I look that up while you guys do things?
That's why it's so important to have somebody who can help you out as a GM. Oh, GMing must be fun. All right. So what do you guys want to do?
It is.
Is everybody behind the
Blow
wall?
some shit up.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Blow some shit up.
Let's
Old
blow
Scooby-Doo.
some shit up.
Just peek around the corner.
Yeah. Set it off.
Okay. So this is a blast 9. So please roll 9 base damage. So that's 9d6. Not 96, but
96.
9d6. And let's see how many of these things are successes.
All right.
Okay. So that's 1 success, 2 successes. 2 successes. Decent. Let's see if that's enough to bust the door. I thought it was going to be a lot better. You guys can't roll. Just kidding.
The breaching charges that we used all the time
Yeah.
were also weight 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
Masters was just a fucking tank and had the pack mule feet trait thing, so she could carry a shit ton of stuff.
Got it. All right. So there is a seismic wave that hits you in the water as you guys stand. You hear like the sort of as it goes off and then subsides.
All right. Go back around the corner and check out the door.
Yep. Coming too.
There are floating pieces of metal and detritus. The door is... Yeah, I'm going to say that charge definitely busted the door. The door
Nice.
is halfway destroyed. Like, there's like a little bit of it basically left.
Well, let's get inside.
Did enough
Yep.
to step through without ripping our suits.
Yeah, I'm going to hand wave that. You're thinking too realistically. But I love you for it.
We just talked about firing bullets underwater. 20 minutes.
All right.
Big step. Big step.
Unreasonable.
Dot's looking for the disc.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find.
You wind your way into this relatively small room, this vault room. Left on the wall, waterlogged and soaked as it is, are several pieces of weaponry and ammunition, as discussed before. Everything except for the single shotgun that Murphy took is still sort of either hanging or floating in the water. You also spy a very heavy, very dark, metallic object, which is very similar, I would assume, to this long data disk, and it is sort of floating in the middle of the water, like end over end. So it seems to be somewhat buoyant.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
let's grab
it.
that and let's get going.
Who in
And,
here? Who in our group does not have a firearm?
I was gonna say, Dot is gonna say, borrow this and grab one of the pistols.
Okay.
And she will also point.
Murphy's gonna nod her approval.
And she will also point at the suitcase and say, I don't know if anybody cares. That thing's apparently full of gemstones. The assholes upstairs might want it, but I think they can swim down here and get it them fucking selves.
So what other weapons are in here?
I will tell you. Let's see. Yeah. In the vault. Following. Basements. Here we go. The vault has... Well, it has only one Armat 3782 pump-action shotgun. It has one Wayland Storm rifle and two M4A3 pistols.
I will grab the shotgun for close encounters.
Excellent, of course. Of course.
What's the storm rifle?
Great question.
Yeah, no, I definitely wonder what that is.
I do
Dot
too.
Is grabbing just grabs one of the pistols for the simple reason that she kind of knows how to shoot a gun, but not really. So this is mostly a last resort kind of thing.
So the Wayland Storm rifle is a brand new weapon for building better worlds. And I'm going to read you the flavor text here. The 150-year-old Wayland Corp Storm rifle was a design ahead of its time. In addition to being a state-of-the-art assault weapon, the Storm rifle has a long-range sniper function capable of hitting a target 5 kilometers away. Like most Wayland Corp products, this advanced and very expensive rifle was intended as a showcase of Wayland ingenuity. It was never intended to be put into mass production. But a misread memo saw it distributed to over 7,000 colonial peacekeeping missions during the height of the Wayland era. Storm rifle was retired at the turn of the century. When Armat was invited to create a weapon to replace the US CMC Harrington assault rifle in 2170, they drew upon the Storm rifle's plans to make an updated and economized version of this masterpiece. Storm rifle is a +1 to hit, damage 2, range is, as per sniper rifles, extreme, and its weight is 2. It's armor piercing, fully, is that right? Full auto? Jesus, it's an assault rifle, so it makes sense. So armor piercing, full auto, underslung shotgun. What?
All of that sounds so contradictory.
I know. Who the hell made this gun?
Is it because it's heavy and it shouldn't do both things, and that's why it was supposed to be minimally distributed?
I guess so. That's why it's called the Storm
This
rifle.
was some guys in the lab fucking around one night after a few too many drinks.
So let's take a shotgun, all right?
And put it under a sniper rifle.
Who let the
Wait.
Marines
And then
drop
we glue it
plants
together.
to the-
Somebody
Exactly.
please clip whatever this voice Matt is
Exactly.
doing.
What was the name of the shotgun?
The shotgun is The shotgun is the here it is. The Armat 37A2 pump action shotgun. It's the one that Hicks has.
How come I can't find it?
Because you're not looking? Just kidding.
It might not be in the compendium if it's for this.
It may not be.
specifically.
If you just look up pump action, you'll see Armat model 37A2 12 gauge pump action. Because you're just looking up
it's
shotgun.
there. If you open up the weapon submenu in the compendium, it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one down.
Yeah, it's in the core rules. Just it doesn't say the word shotgun in it. It just says pump action.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if nobody else is gonna take it, I don't not want it.
I feel like if anyone was going to take it, it would be Bo.
I love the idea of mounting it on top of Trina.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
That'd be
Going
fun.
full warthog.
Oh wait, Doc has a bolt gun. I was going to hand him a pistol, but he has a bolt gun, so he's got something.
Are you not taking the pistol?
There were 2. I took 1.
Bella, what are you taking?
She's got a shotgun.
I already have the shotgun, and technically I don't even have anything in ranged combat, so I'm just gonna stick with the shotgun.
She just
Yeah, I was
looks
like, I
good.
don't either. I just have a really high agility.
Clark, do
Yeah,
you
I have a high agility also.
ranged?
I have a bolt gun, and that is clearly already too much for Chesterton. So he's going to stick with that.
I say the two of you gentlemen should take the rest of those weapons. I mean, you could leave them one. You could leave them one.
I mean, out of game, because Dot does not like them at all after watching them all flee and leave their kid in the basement to drown.
Right.
Yeah. We could take it and give it to one of them upstairs if they need to defend themselves. Except they'll probably just kill each other, so whatever.
I mean, this does complete my transformation into
that would still fix a problem.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Grab that thing with the gems.
Yeah, no, I'm 100%.
You are the guy. I know what you got. You're the prepper from Tremors.
What's the name of the guy? Oh, he's the dad from Family Ties.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bert.
the prepper.
Bert.
Bert.
I am
That's it.
completely out of ammunition.
Yep.
Did anybody
run out so quick?
Did anybody grab the gems?
That's the real
Yeah,
question.
we're gonna grab
I was
Are
gonna say
doing the
Dot.
rogue thing?
Dot definitely can't carry that. She is 14. So she's got the long disc. That was her mission. She's on it. She's got it.
I mean, yeah, I'll grab the gems.
Okay. So
I guess
Are they in a special
the suitcase is a heavy item. So let's just so you know, in terms of heavy items, I think that heavy items, you can only have a certain amount of them. Just be sure of. Item here. Let's see. Heavy items, 34. Rule. So an item designated as heavy counts as 2 regular items and will take up 2 rows on your character sheet. So you remember, on your character sheet, you can only have as many items as there are lines on your character sheet.
That's what that is. Okay. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay? So if you want to take the suitcase, that's all well and good, but it's taking up
Hero.
2 rows on your character sheet.
Fine. This is not for you. What are you doing?
So, what do you think?
Goblin.
Yeah?
So, I mean,
Goblin.
I think I have plenty of lines.
If you have plenty of lines, then you can take it.
They've only got a couple things. There's 10 lines on the character sheet, and I've only got like 3 things listed. So
There you go.
yeah,
You're all good to go if you want to take all of their gems.
I mean, she's not above it, so.
None of you are.
I mean, they're gonna see us coming out with all this shit. So.
Hey, we're just saving their shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They went off the planet. We said we would get them off the planet. We are just making sure that, they don't lose their shit and we don't lose our part of it.
And we don't lose our asses. Hence taking the guns. How big is the long data disc?
I'd say, in terms of heaviness, it's a heavy 1. Right? In terms of how big it is, it's probably the size of, it's like 2 or 3 feet long.
Okay, so it's not something I could stick in a pocket.
Yep. It's long. Data disc. Not short data disc.
You could stick it in your pocket, but it would stick way up.
Yes,
Is
exactly.
that a long disc in your pocket, or are you happy to see
Hey!
There it is.
Neither.
All right, so you guys have now plundered the vault. What else do you want to do?
Head upstairs.
I think it's only fair at this point to have you guys make. I haven't made you guys do this for a while.
Oh,
Air supply rolls. So go ahead and roll those air supply rolls here, folks.
So we just click air.
You do.
Yep.
Okay, if you go to panic, that means you drop down to. Oh, god damn, Gale.
Success and panic.
But I don't lose 3. I just lose 1, right?
I think it's
Or
for
do I lose
every.
3?
I think it's for every
Is it?
panic. I checked the
I'll
roll.
check. I'll
How
How much
check.
air do we start with?
Success
You
counts
start-
without a panic.
You started with 4 air,
4.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started with
Successes do not cancel out panic. They just don't contribute to failure. Yeah, consumables. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, for every panic roll, the supply rating is decreased by 1.
Oh, shit. All right, so I'm down to 1 air.
Fuck!
Stop breathing so heavy.
Jesus.
Hyperventilating over there.
She's maybe she has some pre-asthmatic conditions there. All right, so
I did grow up in a mining colony.
that's
to be honest, my lungs probably aren't that great.
So Beaucephus,
I probably have the lungs of a 40-year-old.
don't make fun of 40-year-old lungs. All right, Beaucephus drops to 3. Dot, you drop to 1 air.
Mm-hmm.
Bella, you're fine. Hank, you're fine, and Chesterton, you're fine.
Thank you.
And Meow, what do you guys want to do? You want to get upstairs?
Go back
Get upstairs.
Back
Back out of the water.
upstairs.
Cool. All right, so you guys can swim your way through the flooded basement, back up to. Yeah, just give yourselves room to go into this area here, and I'll bring you upstairs.
Oh, sorry.
Bo Tucker.
Sorry.
All
I'm
good.
adjusting my character sheet with all the...
You want me to move you? I can move you. It's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
No probs.
I was just making sure. So with the heavy extreme weight on this, the storm rifle, I think it's 2 slots, right? It's a double slot weapon.
Let me check here. Does it say heavy on it?
I think it does, yeah.
Here it is. Wayland Storm Rifle. Wayland Storm Rifle is armor-piercing, full auto, underslung shotgun. It's just weight 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
just weight 2. It's not heavy.
Yeah, it's not a heavy item, but it is weight 2. So remember, your encumbrance requires your
So then I will not take
strength
it.
times, etc.
Yeah.
So are you taking it or are you not?
Oh, I am. Absolutely.
Excellent. It's a pretty expensive looking item too. You could probably sell it for a pretty
The
penny.
more I think about it, the
About
idea of a
$3,000.
shotgun that somehow has long range just feels like a railgun.
It's not a shotgun that has the long range. It's an
The
underslung shotgun that has a normal shotgun range, but it has a sniper rifle on top of the shotgun.
Which tells me that there's an experimental railgun, full-on racer style, strapped to the top of this thing, and that mechanic alone excites the fuck out of Tucker.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm down for that.
I could kill so many things with this. We could kill everybody. Except
Okay.
Dad.
I am shift pinging you now to
Yeah.
area where the families seem to be.
Slowly hoofing it up the stairs behind everybody else carrying this giant
Well,
gun on
we
my
have
back.
all the weapons and the gems.
You do
So
you do come up the stairs, dripping with the water from the tanks. Most of you carrying armaments which you didn't have before, right?
Yeah, way of proving it.
Disagree.
I wouldn't say it's a great look.
No, not a good look. The only thing that's stopping them potentially from laying into you is that they are all screaming at each other. The Morgan and Violet are pointing fingers in each other's chests and absolutely going at it in terms of absolute just torrent of yelling and screaming and accusations. You told me that you loved me. This would be forever. Well, forever isn't forever if you don't pay attention to me, you piece of shit. Benny sort of holding himself, shivering from the cold and damp that's absolutely just sucked onto his frame. His teeth are chattering. Emilia and Diego are looking at each other suspiciously. Potentially, maybe there's something going on there. They're relatively quiet. And, of course, Danny is nowhere to be seen.
Hey, now's not the time for this. You two screaming at each other is just gonna attract Herbie the love bug out there. We need to get your cattle prods so that we can keep ourselves safe from him. and we need to figure out where Danny is.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but we need to find a place to hunker down until the storm is over and our ship can come get our asses out of here. And I think that the best place to do that is going to be in the mine.
Okay. Just something else as to how they would read. First of all, when you say that, Tan Blashman looks over you. He's like, don't think that's a very good. No, not a. No, disagree. The mind, very bad, very unstable, very not a good place to be at all. I don't. Yeah.
Cool. So, what's more likely to get blown over in a windstorm, this building or a fucking mountain?
Well, the building is very clearly as stable as it's going to be. If it wasn't for this massive cave-in from the from the water towers, he's gesticulating wildly. It's just gibbering.
And she's giving him the exact same look I'm giving my camera right now, and she just goes, "Oh my god, I hate managers." Right, whatever. Benny, you look like shit. Come on. And she's just gonna like grab Benny and take him down the hall and look for a place to get his hands cleaned up.
Okay.
Yep. And also to get him away from his arguing parents.
Yeah. What's interesting is when you go over to him and his hands, because you saw his hands covered with blood as he came down into the basement with the flood. His hands are obviously very clean now because he's been underwater. You look at his hands as you sort of lead him away, and he doesn't have any wounds on his hands. He's just sort of just chittering, and his teeth are so cold. So cold.
Okay, let's find something. Oh, there's a person down this hallway. I was like, let's find something.
Oh, that's not him. Sorry. Shouldn't be.
Okay, I was like, let's find something dry to put on you. But yeah, she notices those hands, and she's not sure if she wants to say anything about it yet. So right now, she's going to keep her mouth shut.
Fair enough.
And take him like down here to the living area and see if there's like a blanket or something on the couch that she can put over him.
So you've stepped into Danny Marino's pod.
Oh, that's where we are.
Yeah, you're in the upper floor, or sorry, I should say the lower floor of Danny Marino's pod. It's a mess, not gonna lie. It's just cluttered with shit. There's clothes everywhere. There are posters, etc. Anything that, a 20-something-year unemployed male would probably have around his house.
Yeah.
And the storm seems to have cracked some of the windows, as you see that the gusts of wind are blowing dust inside. As you step inside this room with the door open, Benny starts coughing. He's like, the wind, I can't. And he steps back outside again.
Okay, she's going to root around and look for some clothes for him, something dry that looks like it'll fit him.
Yep. Plenty of Danny's clothes for sure.
I mean, at this point, I don't know if Benny cares. Like, she doesn't care who it belongs to. She's trying to occupy Benny over here.
Totally
so
fair.
She finds some dry clothes.
Yep. You find something.
And takes them back out in the hall. And she's like, well, I know they're not yours, but they're dry.
Okay. Savage, you step into the space. It's coated with dust now from the exterior.
So there's a busted window in here?
Yeah, there's a busted window.
Is there anything in here that I can use to block off that window?
You could probably grab the couch over here.
Okay.
Just shove it up against the window if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, you grab it. You make a big motion to throw the couch up against the window. Very little dust is now coming through, but it's not airtight, obviously.
I'll chuck him a roll of space duct tape.
Space duct tape. Best ever.
From my repair supplies kit that I made before we came down.
Okay. Probably take you maybe, I don't know, a turn or so, 10 to 15 minutes, and you could tape up the window with the couch in front.
All right, I'll tape it up.
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I also don't really care for the thought of going into the mine, so I'm wondering if there's any space in this facility that's secure enough to ride out the storm. Any of the rooms. So I'm just going to kind of wander around a little bit. Open doors.
Opening doors.
I am gonna, as I'm like trying to help Benny get into dry clothes, she's gonna kind of look and be like, "Hey, your hands were all bloody earlier, but you're not cut. What happened?"
He looks at you. He's like, nothing. I guess it wasn't a very big cut.
She like literally takes his hands and looks at them.
And he pulls them back. Stop.
What's going on with you?
Stop.
Stop what?
And then he looks at you. Like he's going to say something, and then just turns, walks back. It's his parents.
Kind of wanders back into the room.
Looks like I found a med
And
bay.
she starts looking around for blood.
Murphy, you do in fact, as you opened the door here to the north here, you do in fact find a sort of a medical area of the control block. Let me see if I can get a description of it. Go. Yeah, so the medical bay has an auto dock, 2 doses of very clearly labeled leggy snake antivenom.
Is that what they call them?
That's what they're calling them, man.
I just assumed that was an out-of-house term.
No, it's
that's what the characters called them earlier.
The characters call them. That's what the book calls them. That's what they're called. Supposedly, these are in-canon creatures. Like, if you go on to, like, if you look up, like, alien leggy snakes, like, they were supposedly, like, a prototypical, face hugger. Yeah, I think they were to be used for one of the movies. I can't remember one. But leggy snakes I think they're in the comics, too. Give me. But yeah, leggy snake antivenom. You also see 5 personal med kits, which are locked away, and 20 doses of Never Sleep.
Oh. Okay. I mean, she could probably stash a couple things.
What would you like to stash?
Let's see. So, you said several, there are like 5 personal med kits and
that are locked away.
They're locked
over
away.
Here. Yep, they're right here.
Mm-hmm. And then a whole bunch of Never Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
An auto dock, which is this thing right here,
Auto dock.
which is going to give you a +2 to medical aid rolls if you use it.
Okay.
And then
So
there's the
we
Never
can't really
Sleep
do anything.
and the antivenom.
Yeah, we're gonna grab that anti-venom.
Okay.
So
There were 2 doses of antivenom. Want to take them both?
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. What do you guys want to do next?
After that weird ass conversation with Benny, Doc comes back into this room, and you said we're on the upper level of his quarters.
No,
so is
you're on
there,
the
like,
you're on the
another level?
ground floor. You're on the ground floor of his quarters.
Oh, okay. Is there another level to him, or is it just this room?
There is a, if I'm not mistaken, there is a second floor to the pod, as well as, all the other all the other buildings.
So she's like, just kind of stands there for a second, thinking, and then just she's kind of shaking her head to herself. She's like, "No, you're being stupid, but fuck it." And she starts looking around for blood.
Okay, make an observation roll.
3 successes, 1 panic.
All right, roll your panic.
I knew I wanted to interact with my signature item before I did this, but well.
What happens? Oh shit. Okay. So here's the
okay, but I just freeze for 6 seconds.
That's you freeze for 6 seconds. Your stress level goes
up, which it did for
by
me.
1. Unfortunately, because you got a 10, your observation fails. Anything that you would have seen is negated by the panic that's racing through your heart right now as you freeze. Because the image in your mind that you surmise makes your young teen sort of expectation of this person who you have just befriended go to places that you didn't think they would ever go. These imaginary horribles.
Yeah.
So you freeze in utter shock and potential horror. Take of that which you will.
And after freezing for 6 seconds, she's going to pull out her multi-tool and just start, like, almost subconsciously opening and closing the blade. Opening and closing, opening and closing. And, like, looking at it, and then, like, not even thinking about it, and just kind of, like, self-soothing a little bit. And that's my signature item interaction. I'm going to remove a point of stress.
Yeah, now that we've got the window closed and the door to the basement closed, are we kind of in a safe space where we might be able to relieve a stress?
Well, if you wanted to indeed stay in this space, you don't certainly find yourselves under attack at this point. Are you safe? Well, the storm is, although not completely abated, is it's still sort of quite heightened outside. So, are you safe inside? Yes. Would you be safe outside? Hell to the no. Not until the storm is done. So you could take a rest here and abate 1 stress if you so choose. So.
Yes. And I would also like to mess with my signature item. I pull out a cigar case and open it up, grab out a cigar, light it, and drop another stress.
Beautiful. How about the rest of
you? I'm also gonna drop a second stress, because after she, like, shakes herself out of this bullshit, she is just gonna start sifting around Danny's room looking for anything that might be useful in whatever the fuck comes next, and then just flop on the couch and be like with a comic book or something that she finds on his floor, and just flops on the couch with it, like, fuck this. Like, I'm done. She can still hear the adults arguing down the hallway and is like, fuck, god damn it. I'm gonna read about the Flash.
What about Murphy and Tucker and Clark?
Love the idea that Tucker is still, like, hoofing it up the stairs with this massive weapon. It's just like, what a miss.
You come up the stairs with the gun. Diego's like, why do you have that gun?
We're looking to defend ourselves against more of them leggy snakes. What the fuck you think?
He says, give me that. That's mine.
Intimidation check?
No, he just says, give me that. That's mine.
No, I would like to make it.
What do you say?
I said, hell, man, I can't defend myself. I gotta shoot this shit. Also, you got a giant fucking snake worm thing out there I just heard about crashing around. That's the reason we're nearly drowning. The fuck you doing with this gun in the first place locked away? You need to use something like this.
That's why I'm asking for it.
Why weren't you doing that earlier?
I didn't have any reason to shoot anything, man. Give me my fucking gun.
What would you like?
Manipulation.
Command or manipulation. Great.
Manipulation.
Let's give it a try. Do I have any bonuses for actually wielding the weapon?
No! You're not pointing it at him!
Success. I don't
Amazing.
Care. Boom. It's mine now.
I was going to use a manipulation versus manipulation, but you know what?
Protective cradling.
Sure.
Little chibi
Yes,
Tucker holding
exactly.
his gun.
Yeah,
A giant leaf blower machine gun.
I will say he sort of like grimaces at you and he says, "Fucking people are all the same."
I found a pistol down there. You want that?
He arches an eyebrow. I gotta have something to defend my family, don't I?
I open step and just gesture towards the basement stairs. Firm grip on a weapon yet to be named, but she's getting a name.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you give him the pistol?
Did I grab the pistol?
I think you
Great,
said.
sure. Yeah, I grabbed the pistol. I passed it on.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He's
It's
got a
not
pistol.
in my inventory.
I'll give him. He didn't have a shotgun. It was Amelia who had the shotgun. They go. So he now has a pistol.
As he walks away, I'm just gonna pet the giant leaf blower gun and say, "Don't you worry. She can't take you. He can't take you from me. We're gonna find you a good home where you're gonna be better respected and not locked away, untouched and dusty."
Her name is Vera.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to come up with a storm-related name pun. I'm not sure where I'm going. I mean, Aurora seems easy and right there, but
Think
I don't
about
know
it
if
between
Tucker
now
would know
and our
Aurora.
next session.
Perfect
Fine.
candy.
Just give me and Sarah cans of spray paint, and we will name everything.
Matter of time. All right. Do you guys want to do anything to abate any stress? I guess what I was intending to have you guys do.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to interact with my signature item, which is the ornate locket she keeps around
Okay.
her neck. So, we're now not needing the hoods on, so she's undone that so she can actually reach it now, and she opens it up, looks at it, and then tucks it back away.
And our erstwhile
Probably
scientist.
kisses it first.
Love it.
Is looking for more drugs. I mean,
Chesterton makes his way into the medical room,
Hmm?
lays back on the floor, pulls out his signature item, which is his broken calculator watch, and checks it, even though it's broken, to see if it also now has water in it.
Eek.
You tell me whether it does or it does not.
I think it does have a small amount of water in it. Yeah.
He kind of like shakes it to see, like how you do when you're checking something out, like how bad is this?
Hmm?
And then looks at his currently working stupid non-calculator watch, and then puts his broken watch back in his pocket and lays it back down on the ground with one arm over his eyes.
laying in the hallway. Love it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to find a
Guys,
corner.
there's a bigger room down here.
You guys hear Gale calling from the room to the south.
Chesterton does not react at all.
Fair enough. Violet and Morgan have stopped screaming at each other and accusing each other of a variety of horrible marital crimes, whether it be infidelity or abuse on either side. You've heard a lot in the last 10 minutes. Diego and Amelia stand there, their arms crossed, staring at their enemies, if you want to call them that. Tan Blatchman keeps documenting everything. Everything you see, he's written on a data pad. This character or this particular event, this timeline, etc. 10 Blatchman is all about facts, events, and keeping an audit of every single thing, including the items that you guys took from the basement.
And
He
Blatchman sounds a lot
wasn't
like
with
a
us,
snitch.
and he wasn't with us, and I have a pistol. It's in a pocket right now.
Blatchman was with you. He had a suit, and he stayed
Oh,
with you.
he did come. Oh, I don't remember him coming into the thing.
He didn't come into the thing, but he was there in the basement, as far as I remember.
Oh, okay. Just saying, there's a chance he doesn't know I have that gun.
That's totally fair. After about 20 minutes, which is inclusive of the amount of time that you've spent reducing stress, the sounds of the storm outside drop to a much more manageable level, it seems. Much more akin to the winds that you heard outside of the facility when you first arrived. Not, not to a point where you know that breathing in the outside atmosphere would be, would not be harmful to you, but certainly not to the point where there is a massive dust storm anymore. You assume that it is safe to go outside with the appropriate amount of material protection.
Gonna call back up to our ship and see if they're able to come back.
Okay. Your comms to your ship are short-range comms. In order for you to contact Sovoletsky Island, you would need to contact them from an area of the facility that would be the comms array.
That was another building, wasn't it?
It was another building.
It's up on the edge, I think.
It is. In fact, let me move you guys quickly to the map, and then we'll move back to the... There it is. Here. The comms array is right there. The only
Alright,
way to
so
get
we
up
get
there
over
would
there.
be to get to the lift tower. The problem is that the power's out. Power's out everywhere. And when I say everywhere,
Oh, fuck.
I mean everywhere. I think Sarah may have caught on.
Isn't there some type of protective thing that
Not
exists
anymore.
that
Power's out.
requires power?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what it is.
From
We
the-
are
What are they? Space locusts?
so fucked.
Space crickets?
Space locusts and the leggy snakes.
As we notice this looking out, how far exactly are we from Trina?
Great question. Trina is not there.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I lose
no.
all fucking chill. Baby,
I like to
baby.
think that happens
back.
right as like as Dot
No.
as she's reading this comic book in like the flashlight from her helmet, like suddenly her brain is like, wait, there are no lights in here. There's no power. There's no... And you just see her look up from the comic and do exactly what I did when I figure it out. So everyone on comms just hears Dot going,
Oh, no.
fuck.
Only she didn't say fudge.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exact reference.
Fair enough. In the interim, as people have wandered to, find their bearings, you see that the colonists have now found additional rebreathers and protective gear, ostensibly from places other here in the control block. There are a number of stores where you've seen them sort of open up, and they have found these protective gear units, rebreathers, etc. Morgan, grumbling, walks out the door to the control block out through the east. Emilia and Diego follow suit towards their facility out the door of the control block towards the towards the Marino household. Amelia calls out.
Around here, I can up my air.
Amelia, as you hear her step outside the door, Danny, Danny, Danny. Benny steps sort of closer towards you, Gale, like towards the door, just stares at you. And then Violet makes her way out the door on the opposite side of where Morgan left, towards the opening of Danny's pod. And I think through the taped up hole that was the window of Danny's pod, you hear an ear-shattering scream through the window and the dust-coated space in between yourself and that area outside the pod. You recognize that scream, or at least the timbre of the voice, as Violet's screaming voice.
Where's the nearest door outside?
Great question, Savage. The nearest door is through the living room to the outside here.
All right, I'm throwing my helmet on and headed out the door.
Excellent. Go for it. Through there is another door. You see the word exit above it over here to the south. Murphy, Gale, what do you do as Savage runs out the door?
Dot just makes eye contact with Benny with the question very clearly on her face, but doesn't say anything. She's just looking at him.
He says nothing. Savage, run out the door, and Violet has collapsed onto the absolutely flayed body of Danny Marie.
Bella, did you just leave me alone with the murderer?
And that's where we're
No,
that's
not yet.
that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Because he goes running out of the room. She stands up and sees the two of you staring at each other, and she's like, "You two know shit." So she stops.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay.
So, okay. There shit has happened and more shit has happened.
Shit has gone sideways.
Shit has gone sideways.
Shit hath gone sideways.
And then 180 sideways again.
It's like that squirrel pooping on top of the fan.
What
Some ass colonists.
The squirrel on top of the fan?
It's an internet video of a squirrel that's like chilling outside someone's outdoor fan unit with its tail blowing up in the air. And it takes a shit, so it goes flying up in the air. And then, like, a good 5 seconds later, another squirrel hops up on the fan behind him, and it just comes down and right on top of the other squirrel.
Oh
She speaks true. This is like 10-year-old internet shit.
But it just popped up on my feed again a couple days ago, so it was fresh on my mind. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Zed's dead, baby. Danny's dead, baby. Danny is back dead.
They're dead, Claire. They're all dead.
They're all dead, Claire. Yeah. I think
they're all dead to me now. They are all horrible people.
They're all horrible people.
And empathy is my lowest score.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we know what Dot's going to do. I think it's time to say goodnight until we see each other again the next time we play this wonderful, wonderful game where everybody makes their worst nightmares come true. But I am curious, if you wouldn't mind, just for the sake of clarity and posterity, can you all tell me who it is that your rival and buddy are, so we can make adjustments for experience points after this game is over? Let's just go this way and then arc to the left. So, Patrick, who is Tucker's buddy and rival?
Tucker's buddy was Bella Rose, because she's been trying to make conversation and he's just fucking oblivious. But I think he's sort of warming up to her charm and nature, even though he is not like on the same conversation page.
Okay.
And his rival was Chesterton, because he didn't understand like why he didn't come along with everybody immediately at the start of this all. But also because Marcus and I can absolutely have fun with this dynamic.
I love it. Cool. All right. Clark, buddy and rival.
Well, funny thing about that is Chesterton's buddy is Tucker.
Nice.
There's a simplicity about Tucker that really intrigues Chesterton as a scientist. And Chesterton's rival is Dot, because she's a kid and it makes no sense to scientists.
Awesome.
They're wild cards, and he doesn't deal well with that. So he is very uneasy about that.
You know, today was Bring Your Child to Work Day at my office. I don't know if it was for the rest. I think it's for the entire United States. It's like Bring Your Kid to Work Day. Why would you do that? Why would you do that for all?
Yeah, don't do that.
There are adults.
My mom was
here.
a teacher.
Yeah, that's.
Can I just say?
You get to go hang out in someone else's class for a day. Awesome.
That's fantastic.
That's what I did sometimes when I was sick. I would go lay on the floor behind her desk.
That must have been real comfy.
It was fantastic.
Okay, cool. So, Dot, buddy and rival.
Thus far, her buddy is currently Bo, just because up until this point, he's the only one who's actually talked to her like a person. And then her rival is Bella Rose, because she does not understand women like that. Where she came from, women like that were nothing but trouble. So some ingrained, like, this is not Sarah.
No, I know.
This
We know.
But it's like, because Sarah as a player struggled with this, but I'm like, no, that is absolutely how she would feel, is that like, no, she came from a dirty, gritty mining colony, and women like Bella Rose were nothing but trouble.
Okay, fair enough. Savage, buddy and rival.
My buddy is the Russian Devor.
There we go. We've got our first buddy who's an NPC. I love it.
And my rival is also Dr. Clark.
Making enemies everywhere you go.
I got two.
Yeah, he's he's that science nerd that doesn't know how to do anything when it comes to action, and he knows he's gonna have to drag him kicking and screaming everywhere they need to go.
Nerds.
Love this.
Thank you. And then finally, Murphy, buddy and rival.
Okay, so there's a common theme here. Bo for buddy, because he is that simple guy that's just like chill, and she just doesn't feel like she has to try with him. She doesn't feel like she has to put on an air with him. She can just be whatever, and it's fine. And rival, she cannot stand Blanchman.
Oh, Tan Blanchman.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Not
more
at
of you
all.
guys were like, wouldn't have been like Blanchman.
Dot also obviously does
Hello,
like Blanchman
Newman.
at all, but-
I mean, and second on her buddy list would
Jerry.
actually be Dot, because she would want to protect Dot.
Love it. Okay, great. This is
So-
fantastic.
Cute.
Well, folks, we've come to another amazing session 3 of The Lost Worlds, and I thank you all for doing such amazing jobs as your characters, and of course, just yourselves, because you're awesome people. So thank you all as well in chat, in Twitch, and of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Give us a like, give us a sub, give us a follow wherever you follow us on social media. It's always pleasant to see more people join the Slices and Dices family. We've got more stuff coming down the pike for you. We've got Ravenloft. We've got Monty Python. That's right. We're doing Monty Python. We're going to do a one-shot of Monty Python relatively soon in the month of May. We've got Berserker coming that Ben's going to GM. We've got, of course, the upcoming, whenever it comes out, it's going to be right for Sarah. For Vason, we've got Star Wars 5e for that Red's putting on.
almost through my Vason writer's block. I am like this close to actually having this story. It's so close. So close I can
You
taste
take your time with it, Sarah. We're ready whenever you. Of course, Burn Bright will come back when it's right for Crawd to come back and GM that particular an amazing game. That's I think what we've got going on. Of course, this summer we've got SliceCon. It's going to be July 27th. Is that right? Did I have that right, folks?
Sunday. Yep.
Yep, Sunday, July 27th, 2025. It's going to be here in New York City. We're going to find out a place relatively soon, but the after party has already been graciously volunteered to us by this gentleman right here who's moved, and we're gonna have a fun old fucking time here in New York City. So if you are in the New York City area on July 27th or thereabouts, come and join us. Have some fun, play some games, and find your old friends here at Slices and Dices. Until then, folks. Oh, Discord. Yeah, Discord. Here, I'm gonna put in the chat our Discord. Come join us on Discord, where all the cool people hang out. I will give all these folks approximately 20 seconds to tell the wonderful audience here where they can be found on the internets, starting with Patrick. Patrick, go.
You can find me at Pat Marin on Instagram and Twitter, although I never use Twitter anymore. You can find me at The Whiskey Bard, commenting occasionally on the threads, but I'm not distracted by conversations with people about my brand new gun and all the things I want out of it. And you can come to me at patmarin.com or patrickmarin.com or barriver.com for DM services and whiskey tasting services.
Super. Thank you so much, Patrick. Moving up to Marcus. Marcus, where can people find you on the internet?
Either NYC Cooper or Beardy Beardface on all things social.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Very tight. Very nice. Going on over to Sarah. Sarah, where can people find you on the internet?
Hello, I am Lovely Llama on every social media site that I frequent, along with our Discord and a couple of others. You find me here on Slices most Fridays, some Thursdays, and also over on Dark Domains and Maestria Nord.
Super. Thank you, Sarah. Moving over to Ben. Ben, where can people find you on the internet?
Discord and TikTok. Ironhead454.
That's a record. Ben's just like 5 seconds, bam, 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 and then finally
Leave it to the Marine.
Right, exactly. Just straight shot, one to the head. Sorry, two to the head. And then finally, Julie.
Hi, you'd find me on Discord hanging out. Really, that's just about it. So I'm Dritz Norris in Discord. I'm there with Slices and Dices over on Dark Domain. And other than that, just ping me. I'm around.
Thanks so much, Julie. Hey, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to all of our awesome sponsors. We talked about them at the beginning of the game, so they don't deserve a second shot. Just kidding. And that's it. So remember, take care of each other, but do not forget to take care of yourselves. Bye, everybody. See you soon.